Mm-hmm.
Quick question. Discord link be given out? Which Discord link are we giving out? Okay. I'm eating sausage rolls.
So do you stream about veganism or do you just like open topics? Okay. No, I'm not. Yeah, why not? I don't see a reason to be, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do know. So it's the ideology that says that humans ought restrict or minimize the suffering to animals.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't.
Hi.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck,
If
I
you're
love
talking
animals.
about their innate values, I'd say 0. Sorry, I just got a call. Can you repeat yourself last 2 sentences? Can you repeat last 2 sentences? I got a call. Yeah, so I don't value animals as 0 in the sense all animals as 0. I feel I don't grant them the innate, like for a human, I grant them the innate rights to like speak, to live freely, to uh, vote, and all these things, and have a right to life. I don't grant them that innately to the animals. But I do think that we can form interesting bonds with animals. Like if I have a pet, so if it's a pet chicken, I'm gonna form a really insane bond with it. But that's not because it's an animal. It's because it's just a being that I like to be with me. So I can form the same kind. I mean, a little bit less with a toy bear. I can form a really good bond, and I'd be hurt if somebody tore it apart. But I don't think. Hmm. Yeah, I don't care about it. I don't really care if animals get I don't see why I should care about it. No, it's not about bonding. Uh, it's not at all about bonding. It's about the innate rights. No, I said I can form bonds with animals, as I can form bonds with uh, some teddy bear, but I wouldn't say that the teddy bear has rights or anything like that. I can just form bonds. Yeah, sure. If no, a teddy bear doesn't reciprocate. I don't know. It's just attachment.
Hello
Yeah, I'd
everyone.
like to use the word
So River
attachment
has no
instead.
soul, though.
Lightning.
River has no
Hello
soul.
everybody. Hello my friend. What you are talking about? Okay, no problem.
Hmm. Okay, I did not know that. If that's true, so I'd say attachment then. I don't see a reason to give them value, so by default it is 0. Sorry, what's converse? About what? So you're going to provide me a reason to care about it? Yes, yeah, sure. Okay. Hmm. So do you expect me to read this, or are you going to read this out? No, I'll go. I was just looking at my. I thought you're gonna. It's a video or something. Okay. The vegan position comes from understanding the reasons for why it's immoral to exploit and kill sentient beings, and when it's not necessary. When we consider why it's not okay to exploit and kill humans, it's reduced to the following: humans are capable of experiencing the life around them, and prefer to live. They can feel pain, fear, joy, and other emotions that make us not want to experience the negative things, not want to experience. Those experiences are part of what it means to be sentient. Humans and animals are different in many ways, but we have same things in common, some things in common, including sentience. This means that for the same reason it's immoral to exploit and kill humans in the context of lack of necessity, it's also immoral to exploit and kill animals. I'm saying I don't agree with this, but let's just continue reading. Um, the exploitation of Okay, the exploitation and killing of animals is not necessary in 21st century, where we are used to products that result from exploitation and slaughter of animals. But we have. Could you scroll it down? I can't read it. Okay, so we are used to the products that result from exploitation and slaughter of animals, but we have alternatives to all or most of all products. This means that it is immoral to exploit, slaughter. Okay, read it. So I disagree with the part where you but just because we have the emotions and want to live or to live a life, that's why we should also care about them. I don't think that's what uh, I base my caring about other sentient beings on. What I base my uh, caring about whether other sentient beings are worth or not is, one, they belong to species of human, and second would be they also respect my rights to live. So if both of them are met, then I would say that I do respect that person's um, rights to live, or I would care about its moral worth. Or belonging to the human species. Yes, I've had it. Yeah, them reciprocating and respecting my rights, and they do also care about my value of my life. Hmm. Yeah, depends on what context. For example, if a human being is not capable of respecting rights or of human life, uh, let's say that the individual is a human by species, but is extremely underdeveloped in terms of brain. Yeah. So I'd say that it'd be better to let them euthanize or something else, depending on whatever the family wants. But if it is a human being which belongs to human race, but he wants to, let's say, slaughter other people around him, he's a murderer or he doesn't respect other people's right, then I would say I don't care about his rights at all. Or you don't have to. You can just say, okay, sure. Have you studied formal logic? Yeah, if you want to formalize it, I think I'll have to add more nuances, because then I'd say if A, then I would go for B, and not A and B both are necessary. I would say A is necessary and B is sufficient, where I would further divide B into the context. Yeah. Okay. So let's say it's an alien. Hmm. Yeah, A is necessary, but A is not sufficient. That's what I said. Hmm. Yep. Yeah, I further divided that into two contexts. One is where they're not capable of reciprocating. In that sense, I would give them a pass, because they don't have the uh, I think the necessary brain functions uh, that is required for them to respect my rights. But then they're pretty much a vegetable; they can't harm others. But in the other case, where it's a criminal and they don't respect other humans' rights, they violate them again and again. I don't care about them, even if the necessary condition is met. Yeah, I don't care about their right to live a life like a normal human. I think they should be put into a mental asylum or treated for whatever they have. No, because they still meet. So, what's your question? Because they would I should I not care about them being eaten? I do care about cannibalism. I have a position against cannibalism, because interspecies human, so interspecies eating each other is generally considered bad for evolutionary reasons. That would, yeah, that's that's not because they want to fill each other's tummies. That's to assert dominance, and in civilized societies, that's not what we do. I don't think it should be done. Do you want to know reasons? Okay, so that would result in lack of trust among individuals. A person who can eat another human being wouldn't is more likely to eat another human being, right? Who is not in a vegetative state, or who is not, uh, let's say, or who is otherwise normal, because the taboo around cannibalism. It's okay. I understand. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just said that would decrease the lack of. Sorry, it would increase the lack of trust between humans. How are they not belonging to human species? Dead humans are still humans. But being alive doesn't not make you. So you think after humans die, they become some other species? They are still human species. Yeah, they're still humans. Yes, and I said that if they lack the. Yes, and that's why I further elaborated and said if they don't have the capacity to reciprocate those rights, then I'm still going to reserve their rights as human. Yeah, they don't have the capacity. Yeah, dead humans have some basic rights, as in they have the right to not be eaten by other human beings. They have the right to have a good ceremonial funeral or whatever it is.
Sorry, apparently wasn't heard on YouTube, so I fixed that. I think. Nope, I did not. Give me a sec. Mike. I am. How about now? Now, yes. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. It's been 17 minutes on my YouTube channel that it was a completely silent thing. All right, that's fine.
Hi, excuse me.
Yes, hello.
Can I speak about the topic of this course, our session?
Sure.
What about the reciprocation of rights and value of life?
Sorry, what's the question?
Yes, can we speak with us about this topic in a regular way?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. People are. I'm so sorry, lazy. People are asking for normative conversation and not.
The main, yes. What's the main topic of this course?
Yeah, I'm good with that as well.
Conversation. What's the main topic?
Yeah, sure.
So the main. You do it.
Yeah, I'll be answering since I'm vegan and you're not. How about that? So
and you're a streamer.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
and you're a streamer. Go ahead.
No, I'm willing to let other people talk on my stream, right? I'm just, if the question is what's the topic, I think a vegan should answer that question and not a non-vegan who doesn't have a problem, generally speaking, with putting mentally challenged people into burgers, maybe, perhaps. Unless
are you vegan?
Oh no, I did not say that. Come on, let's not be strawmanning each other.
Oh no! Like, okay, so not for burgers, but for other stuff, right? If we didn't eat them, then that's just like a logical entailment of your position. Give me a second, 1 second. Sorry, 1 second. I'll finish a conversation with Lazy just for a little bit because I think he fears that I strawmanned him, and I really want to explain myself. So in a second, Lazy, I would have asked you, well, what if we didn't kill them but for burgers? We just killed them for non-consumption.
How can you kill dead people? Are you talking about dead people?
No, I'm talking about mentally challenged people who you said you also like.
Excuse me. About kill animals or human?
Sorry.
You speak about kill animals?
Well, we're speaking about killing both because in my opinion, those two are connected. And while I'm talking to Lazy R, you can just read my screen share that gives an argument for veganism. You can just read that. I'll finish a conversation with Lazy and then we can continue. Lazy, I think you're right. I think I am strawmanning you, so I'm going to stop doing that. So if we, because you didn't say that you don't value mentally challenged people. You just want to put them in an asylum, right?
And
you wouldn't.
them.
You wouldn't say it's okay to exploit and slaughter them.
Yes.
Okay. So because they're human beings, so is a human
Because they belong
species?
to our species.
Yeah. Would you cash that out into like a DNA or something, or like all human
So
traits?
you want me to define species?
No, I'm just asking like which part do you value in the human species? Which parts? Like, is it DNA? If you found an alien who is indistinguishable from human beings, but they have like an alien DNA, would you still value those?
I'd value if they'd have a human conscious experience ever, if they have, or if they do have.
Okay.
So let's say a person who had human sentient experience, but now is in a coma for, let's say, next 5 years, and then he wakes up. During those 5 years, also, I'm going to value it because they have had a human conscious experience.
Okay. So why specifically human conscious experience? What's the difference between a human
Because
conscious?
I belong to that species.
If I can finish my answer. For other people, we're having a discussion on a YouTube channel after all.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. So what's the difference between a human conscious experience and an animal conscious experience, such that you valued specifically the human conscious experience?
Well, I can tell you differences, but none of the differences are the reason why I value it. The reason why I value it is simply egoistic. I can tell you differences such as humans have a higher level of conscious experiences in the sense that they are able to identify themselves in they can tell the difference between being conscious and the idea of consciousness. And I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely. But now you're contradicting yourself kind of, because the mentally challenged people can't, and they are human. So not all humans are possible to do. Sorry. Yeah. I think it's a category error to say I value the entire species for those traits, and some of the individuals in that species don't have those traits. That's a category error. How? Because you're defining. Yes, because you're defining the human species. You're saying I value the human species, and then you give traits for which you value the human. Hold on. For which you value the human species, but then some of those, the individuals in that species don't have those traits. So it becomes a category error to include those who don't have those traits.
It doesn't, because you did not ask me to define the species. If you had asked me to define species.
No, I've asked you why do you value human consciousness over animal consciousness? And you told me, it's a higher level of consciousness, right?
No, that's not what I said, VPM. I said that there are differences between animal consciousness and human consciousness. I could list them, but it doesn't matter because those are not the reasons why I value human consciousness.
Oh, okay. So what are the reasons? I would like to hear what are the reasons. I know there are differences.
I also said that there is just one egoistic reason, and that is because I am a human and I'm conscious as a human. That's it. And I would like my rights to be protected. Therefore, I protect other people's rights who experience the world exactly same as me.
And the people who don't experience the world exactly the same as you do not value them.
People?
Yeah, sure.
I do value people.
I don't know. Mentally challenged people definitely don't experience the world like you do.
Yeah, I don't grant them rights because they cannot reciprocate. So the notepad that you had, it had two things, right? A and B. So the conscious experience that I'm talking about is more closely related to B. So if they lack the B part, then they still have necessary condition, that is being a human. So
therefore, I'm not understanding what's the difference between animal consciousness and human consciousness that makes it okay to exploit and slaughter animals for unnecessary stuff, but makes it not okay to exploit humans.
They lack the necessary condition.
The only trait that you gave me that actually makes sense is that you are a human, right? You value your human experience, and therefore you value other humans' experience that is like yours. Well, this is again a category error that excludes the mentally challenged people whom you say you still value and will not accept them being exploited and slaughtered. Not for burgers because you don't want to eat people, but that's okay. But for other stuff, right?
Because they meet the necessary condition.
Sorry?
Because they meet the necessary condition.
Yeah, but this is a bit circular. It's a contradiction there. There's a contradiction
you just asked
there.
me a question.
Yeah,
That's why
I'm
you
just
care
saying
about
there's a
mentally challenged
contradiction
people.
there, because I'm asking what is in human what is in the human species that you value. You say consciousness, and then I say, well, some humans don't have the consciousness that you value, but you still value them.
Oh, so I think you're confusing. That's what I clarified.
Oh, I'm
Again,
confusing.
I'm clarifying this for the third time. The thing that I said is I'm not defining species to be all humans have this one thing, otherwise they're not humans, and I won't value them. I didn't say that. You asked me what do you value about a human, and I said I value consciousness. I also do value that they're a human themselves.
Okay, so what
They
does
belong
that
to our
mean?
species.
So okay, so what?
That means that they can.
Hold on. What traits?
That means generally, if they're healthy, they can reproduce with another person of the same species and have a non-sterile offspring. That's
okay.
what
So
definition
if you can fuck
human
them, then
species
you
is.
value them. If you can't fuck them and impregnate them, then you don't value them.
That's very bad faith.
That's
very bad faith.
literally what you just said, that they can reproduce. I value humans because they can reproduce with other humans and produce of offspring. Yes?
I was defining the species term for you.
This is really frustrating now, Lazy. So I'm looking not for a trait that defines a human species. I know what a human species is. I'm asking for a trait that defines a human species, that differentiates them from animal species, that makes it okay to exploit and slaughter animals, but not okay to exploit and slaughter humans.
Oh,
is this too complicated?
Okay. Now I get what you're trying to say. This is my axiomatic starting point that I care about human life. It might be very surprising to you, but yeah, that's my axiomatic starting point. I think every human have this starting point, that we do care about human life. So that's what I care about.
Wait, babies don't care about human life?
I said, but they will be caring about human life
so,
when they grow up and if they're healthy.
So for their future experience? Well, if I kill them young enough, they're never going to be caring about human life.
Yeah, but that would be like that would be like killing a person in coma and saying, oh, they would have a future experience that, but I just stopped it.
Yeah, that's an entailment of your position, though, right? It's not my position. I think we should defend all sentient life. So, just to be clear, though, if an animal saves a human being, right? Like there was a viral video, an elephant saved a human being, then you would start valuing that species?
No. Can you open the notepad so that we don't go in circles?
Yeah, I'm just going to move on. Here's the thing, right? I'm not the one leading us in circles here. If you gave me an actual answer, what is it in human beings that you value over, that is differentiates them from animals, that makes it okay to exploit and slaughter animals, but not okay to exploit and slaughter humans, then we would have an actual interesting conversation.
That's what I'm about to do. Can you open the notepad, please?
Sorry?
Can you open the notepad, please? Because that would make it easier, I guess, for me to represent my point better.
Sure. Let me just reshare it with you. Oh, no. I'm resharing the same thing. Jesus Christ. There you go.
Right. So right in front of statement A, can you write necessary?
No, I understood that part. Let's not think that I'm silly or stupid, right? I understood that part.
Okay, so then why do you ask me questions like if an elephant
here's the
life
thing,
of
right?
a human,
Yeah. I'm going to explain it to you.
Necessary condition.
I'm going to explain it to you. And then we're going to stop because it's clear that you like a rhetorician. And I'm here to make people vegan.
Non-ad hominems.
Sorry? This is not an ad hominem. Why would a rhetorician be ad hominem? Are you okay?
I don't know. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Make your point.
Give me a second. There you go. Right. So, damn it. That's not it. So I'm sharing my screen, right? So I have these two objects, right? You know, just saying, this is an animal, this is a human, it's kind of useless, right? Even if you say this is an animal, some kind of a bovine species, this is some kind of a human species, right? Homo sapien. It's kind of useless because what does that even give us? That's just give us a set of words.
Distinction.
Yeah, that sure, it's a distinction between two sets of words. What would actually give us any kind of information about those objects is the traits they unhouse, right? So a human being has certain traits, and an animal, like generic, let's say, conjunction of all animals, have also certain sets of traits, right? So, for instance, some people would come in here and talk about phenotypics of human beings. They'll say, well, human beings have 2 eyes, 2 ears, a mouth, are capable of a language and stuff like that, right? So those are like the phenotypic traits of human beings. Animals have 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and a tail, and 4 legs, right? Those are phenotypical traits of a mammal, for instance, like a mammal animal. And then there are other traits. So human beings have higher rationality consciousness. They have, I don't know, the ability to build buildings because of that higher rationality. They have emotional anxiety, more likely, also stemming from that higher rationality. Animals have lower consciousness, right? They have sentience, so basal sentience, and a little bit of a higher consciousness. So some animals are able to recognize themselves in the mirror and stuff like that. And you definitely can see in an animal that they make preemptive choices, right? Between the choice of eating food and not eating food, they would choose to eat food. For instance, or go right or go left. An animal would choose to go right or go left. So those are the traits that actually tell us who a being is. Just saying human doesn't give us those traits. And I know it's like, to everybody in the room, it might seem like, well, we know what a human is. Well, okay, what are the traits that make a human, that make it okay, not okay, to exploit and slaughter a human, and that animals lack those traits, and therefore it's okay to exploit and slaughter animals? My answer, I already gave it to you, right? They have intersection. Animals and humans have an intersection between them called sentience, that basal consciousness that makes an animal fearful of death, for instance, right? And they'll do literally anything to escape death, including cutting off their own or gnawing off their own limbs. That's how high their drive to live is, right? Human beings have that drive to live as well. I would say even sometimes to a lesser degree. I think that's the reason it's not okay to slaughter a human being. And if an animal possesses those traits as well, despite being incredibly different from a human being, then we shouldn't slaughter animals either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I give you 2 reasons? So first of all, if your question is really what makes a human special in a way that they shall not be slaughtered and put into burgers.
Well, not
So,
necessarily
my
burgers,
answer-
right? You definitely have some kind of an emotional.
Yeah, I'm just speaking figuratively. So
Yeah. Just like slaughter for unnecessary stuff. That's how I like defining that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So I've already answered that. That was my axiomatic starting point.
Mm-hmm.
In philosophy, what you have to do is you have to have some assumptions, right? For an example, if you want to talk about logic, you need to have presuppositions about laws of logic. There are 3 of them, and there is no way to justify why they're true or what makes them true, but we have to accept them as true in order to think further. In this case, my axiomatic beliefs are, one thing is that I value human life. Now, that is a necessary condition.
Well,
For
are
me
you
to
saying
value a
it's
life
like
is-
irreducible and you cannot explain why you value human life?
Yeah, it's like encoded in me, I guess.
Okay, weird.
It's
Chip,
not
go
an
on.
axiom.
Why it's weird. What's not an
Yeah,
axiom?
it's not an axiom because would you say that a person who says I value my own race as an axiom?
Yeah, that is his axiom.
So then if he is a racist because he does not value anybody outside of his race, then he's acting morally.
I don't believe in objective morals, so I wouldn't say that.
No. But according to your values,
No,
he's
not
acting
according to my,
morally.
because we have different starting points. It's like saying,
Sure.
it's like asking a
Different starting points, but the same
Yes.
logic.
yeah, sure.
So do you think a racist is moral?
No, because it doesn't align with my moral values.
It doesn't align with what? With the axiom. The axioms.
Yeah, we have different
are
axioms.
different.
He cares about his race. I don't care about races. I care about human species.
Yeah, but you know, you can't like if we do it that way, then wouldn't you agree that everybody could justify absolutely anything they want to do? Like they could say, my axiom is that raping somebody is moral, is right. That's my axiom. So and then they can derive everything from it. So if you go by you constructing it this way, then there is no purpose to morals.
There's no purpose. What?
To morals.
No, why not?
Because if somebody
I would
says
say
that
is if somebody
race is
has-
their axiom, then would you want to live in a world where people say that race is an axiom and therefore they should be racist?
I wouldn't, because I think in that world, the human species would not flourish. Many great mathematicians, scientists belong to some other races, and the world would not be a better place. As in the contributions made to science by other races, the contribution made to human species development by other races is too big to be just made an axiom of one race's supremacy. Now, coming back to what would that not dissolve every moral system? That's not true. In fact, almost each and every moral system today on earth is exactly what you have said. So, for an example, Islam's moral system is whatever Allah is gonna say is true. Whereas if you go to utilitarian, their moral system starts with axioms like pain is bad and pleasure is good. Unnecessary pain is bad and pleasure is good. If you go to emotivists, they have their axioms as in what I feel is
I don't need
good is good.
I don't need a lecture, by the way. Thank you. I don't need a lecture. I'm just trying to understand because
I was just trying to help you.
why is there a difference between because you say you don't want to live in a world where people say that race is an axiom, right? Because that wouldn't be a good world. Or
Yeah,
no,
not
or
from
let me
my
put it this way: the world would be better if people said that that drawing the line at humans is an axiom, right?
Sorry?
You're saying that the reason why you wouldn't want to live in a world where race is an
Because
axiom.
it doesn't align with my axioms, yes.
It's because it doesn't align with your axioms. But you want to live in a world where everybody can just choose their own axioms, regardless if they're arbitrary or
We
not.
already live in that world.
Sure, regardless.
The fuck we
There
do.
is no other way.
Do you understand? I'm not asking you if I know that the world is messed up. I'm asking you, do you want to live in a world where somebody can commit a rights violation on you and claim it is moral
I would want the
because
whole
their
world to-
axiom says it's okay?
I would want the whole world to accept my
Zach, it was an
axioms
example.
because they are my axioms. I see them as correct, and I see others' axioms as wrong.
But you
That's what
you
subjectivity
cannot
is.
logically justify why that is correct and why sentience is not correct. Because as far as I understand, if you were to say that an axiom is sentient beings deserve moral consideration, and I can explain to you why that is a logical statement, if you were to use such an axiom, then it would encompass both your morals and other beings. But you only seem to like you limit strategically.
Yeah, I don't see a
because you know
reason
that
why to
if
accept
you
your axiom and include other
Well,
beings
it's not
in
my
my
axiom. It's because it is
values.
logical. Like axioms shouldn't be arbitrary chosen just because you want to
All
draw
axioms
the
are
line there.
arbitrarily
Because
chosen.
well, no, because yet again, you wouldn't want an axiom. It wouldn't be an axiom, first of all, because it's, as VPM said, it's not irreducible. You can reduce it to why does a human being deserve moral consideration? You can't just say, because I think so. You have to have a reason behind it. You can't just say, well, that's my axiom. That's what I believe. Human beings
Why can't I
deserve
say
moral
it's my
consideration.
axiom? Don't you say that if I ask
Because
you?
it isn't an axiom.
Okay, if I ask you, the chip guy, do you exist? And how do you know you exist? Aren't you going to say it's an axiom? I just believe it because there is no other
I
way
don't
for me
know.
to think
I don't know if I
okay?
exist.
You don't know if you
But
exist.
I don't know if I exist. No.
I'm
But
sorry, I
I
just
can tell you.
we seem to
But I
disagree on
can
very
tell you for a
epistemological
fact.
basis.
I can tell you for a fact. I can tell you for a fact that the human beings deserve moral consideration is not an axiom because it can be reduced to further. And if you want to reduce it further, if you want to ask logically, okay, well, what if we have multiple species of humans? Who deserves moral consideration?
Human species is a singular species. How can you make it multiple species?
Well, there were multiple species of humans. There was Homo erectus, there was Homo sapiens, which
Oh, you
we
mean
are now.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, I get
multiple
it.
species of humanoids. Yeah, so if there are multiple species of humanoids, who deserves moral consideration?
Are there right now? I think my philosophy is pretty pragmatic. If they are right now, then I would talk about it. If they simply
Okay,
don't
but
exist, I
hypothetically,
wouldn't
if there
bother
were
myself.
more. Hypothetically, if there were more.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty confusing state. I would probably think about changing my axioms then, because my axioms don't necessarily like guide my intuition in that stance.
Yeah, so you
in these
see, that's why
hypotheticals.
your axioms are bad. That's why your axioms are
No,
bad.
axioms
because
don't have
it's
to be like
when we
universally accurate.
Well, axioms have to be as accurate as possible. It's not even such a far-fetched statement to say that there might be multiple species of humans, because we have not tested every single human being on this planet genetically, and there is a probability that there might be certain humanoid individuals on this planet who are so different genetically that there might be a different species. After all,
No.
if you go by the definition of species, what is a species? Let me ask you this.
So a species is a group of animals who if they reproduce together, they have a non-sterile offspring.
Yeah, there you go. Do you think that there are couples on this planet who, no matter how much they try, they cannot produce fertile offspring?
Because they're not healthy. Healthy individuals of a species.
Do you think that there are healthy individuals who, no matter how much they try, they cannot produce fertile offsprings?
Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
Well, apparently you don't know enough about it, because that is definitely the case for a lot of people.
Go cite me some.
So a lot of people cannot produce fertile offsprings. So does that mean that
because
they are a
aren't
different
healthy.
species?
Because they are not healthy.
No, they are very healthy.
No, that's not possible. That's not how it works.
It is.
You're
We don't know enough about reproduction that I find it so interesting that you have so much confidence in your knowledge of medicine that you don't know the fact that certain couples struggle with reproducing, even though everything checks out on their health.
Their reproductive systems are not healthy. That's exactly what I've been saying.
No, brother. There are people who have... Oh, they're not compatible. Is that it? Is that what you were saying? They're not compatible. Doesn't that mean that they're a different species?
No.
What does compatibility? What does the
So compatibility means, I'll tell you. So if there are two siblings and they copulate with each other, they're not a compatible match because the child is more prone to be having many genetic diseases because they share the same sets of recessive genes.
Yeah, but they can have a child. They will have a child who will have problems, but they can have a child.
Yeah, and one of the problems
that
would be
child
that he
can't
might be
reproduce
sterile.
as well.
One of the problems might be that he might be sterile.
Nope.
Maybe he
highly unlikely.
Maybe he would have ingrown testicles, or
wait. Can you give us the name of the? Hold on. Can you give us the name of the condition that if two siblings were to fuck and reproduce a child, that child would be sterile? What would be the condition?
I just said maybe it would be. If you want me to find out, okay, I'll go look it up and find something for you.
No, but I mean, I'm just like pointing out that you're talking out of your ass.
The standards that you're applying to me is nowhere near the standards you're applying to that chip guy. He said that there are generally healthy human beings who reproduce to have non-sterile kids.
Yeah.
And there's
there are generally healthy.
And nobody has asked him any evidence for that. That's such a wild statement.
do you want me to give you actual cases? I have friends who are healthy, who both of them are super healthy. They're trying to have a baby and it's not working. How do you explain that?
Yeah, sorry, I don't really admit a lot of
How
anecdotes.
do you explain that? Okay, so you don't admit
Give me a
anecdotes, but
study or
these are.
something.
So you want to study that there are couples out there who cannot have babies?
Who cannot have sterile, who only have sterile babies, and they cannot have regular babies who can produce fertile babies.
No, brother. The whole your definition. Let me explain to you logically, because your definition is that a species is if two individuals can produce a fertile offspring. That's the definition that you go by. The negation of that is that they cannot produce a fertile offspring. It doesn't mean that they can produce an infertile offspring. It means that they cannot produce a fertile offspring. So if they cannot produce an offspring, then they cannot produce a fertile offspring. So if there are couples
That's because
out
they're unhealthy.
there,
Show me
if there are
your study.
couples out there, if there are couples out there,
I'll concede. Just show me your
listen, man,
study instead of rambling.
I cannot show you a study for this because this is such a ridiculous claim. It's such a, it's such a, it's either childish to assume that all couples who are healthy can have a baby together. That's such a childish thing to assume. But and it lacks a lot of knowledge in basic reproductive medicine. But I'll look it up. I'll look it up if there's a study for that. But let's imagine that hypothetically, what I'm saying is true, and there are a lot of couples worldwide that cannot reproduce fertile offsprings, even though they both are healthy. Would that mean that there are different species?
That means you'd have to change the definition of species.
That would mean you have to change. And how would you change it in that situation?
I don't know. You're just talking about things that are not going to happen. I don't know how to respond. So you just said that. What if other humanoids walked among us?
It doesn't matter if it can happen.
Raphael,
So
we
you're not
can
audible,
barely hear you.
G.
You're very distant.
Doesn't matter if it would happen in reality or not. Using hypotheticals is a way to test logic, okay? So let's just logically imagine in a hypothetical that let's say all Black people from now on only produce sterile offspring. Would that be a reason to treat them like you treat the animals?
That would mean they are different species, right?
Yeah, no.
And they cannot mate with.
If you test their DNA,
Raphael, we can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
if you test their DNA, they're still human. Can we now farm them?
So that means they are the same species.
Yes. Can we now farm them? They produce
No,
only sterile.
because I had two conditions, and the necessary condition was them being of the same species as us.
Yeah, then your
So no,
definition of
according-
species is not doing the job that you're trying to have it do, though.
Exactly.
Because
Black
you
people-
guys are so confused. One of you has given me a statement, and they say that if Black people are only able to produce sterile offsprings,
Yep.
then would you classify them as being able to put into burgers or something? And I said, I asked them, would you then say that they are different species?
Wait,
And
let's
they
say
said,
they
no,
are
they're
a
the same
different
species.
species. Is it okay to farm Black people now?
If they're different species, I'll have to change my definition because it doesn't align with my intuition then.
Oh, so you're gonna have to change it. So it's special pleading. You're gonna have to change your definition of what a species is to include Black people.
Yes.
So it must be not a species that you have an issue with. It must be something in
No, it's
Black
exactly
people
species.
or people simpliciter
We know today
that
what
you have an
species
issue
is.
with.
See, this is what you guys want me to do. You want to change all the constraints in my argument in the hypothetical, and you don't want me to change anything.
No, it
that
shows.
right?
It just shows you up for what is going on here, right? Because you said, well, I value the human species, and then you define the human species as like through this reproduction method. And now we said, well,
not my
listen,
definition, that's
there are
standard
Black
scientific
people.
definition.
Then we say hypothetically, Black people are not considered to be a human species. Now, is it okay to mulch them for burgers? You said, no, I'm going to change my definition of species to include Black people into my box of not okay to slaughter for burgers.
Yes, because if you
Yes.
are referring to the black people that are today alive, either
You
they
don't
won't
see
be
a
black
problem
people if
here
they are
that
not
I
able to
pointed
reproduce
out?
with-
You don't see a
No,
problem?
because you're changing the meaning of black people. If you mean by black people is
Yes, it's a hypothetical.
some exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. In a pragmatic sense, if what you're referring to as a black person, let's take Will Smith for an example. If Will Smith isn't able to reproduce with any other woman from any other of any other race,
Mm-hmm.
and only black people, and there too they're only able to reproduce with an infertile offspring,
Okay,
then
I dropped the study. Here you go. The study. 30% of
show us.
couples. I dropped a study showing that 30%
damn,
of.
bro, you didn't even like put the effort to
Yeah.
ask the ChatGPT to remove .chatgpt.com from at the end.
Yeah, I did not even put in the effort exactly. I used ChatGPT to find the study. I don't care.
Okay.
But the study does show exactly that, and it doesn't really
OT.
matter. 30% of
Okay,
infertile couples are
Can
considered to
you-
experience unexplained infertility. It's not explained by one of them being healthy or unhealthy. That's what this shows.
Okay, let me read it. Where does it say this? What is the recommended management for couples presenting unexplainable or unexplained infertility? Based on, okay, somebody else, the evidence based work effective to recommendation, definition, diagnosis, and absence of abnormalities, and in the reproductive system standard investigation. However, a consensual standardization of diagnostic work is still lacking. Did you read it?
No, I asked
Did you read the
ChatGPT
study?
to tell me that.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I did
why you
not.
should
I asked
have maybe
ChatGPT
put
to
in
summarize
the
it.
work, because in the first page it says, however, a consensual standardization of diagnostic work up is still lacking. This study itself says
That's
that
exactly
it is not a
it,
conclusive
yes.
evidence,
Yeah, that's
and
exactly the
they
point.
haven't studied it properly yet. That's what they're saying.
That's exactly the point, because infertility is not described, as you said, by them being unhealthy. So your statement saying that they cannot produce offsprings because they're unhealthy is ridiculous to begin with. Okay, so there are individuals out
Dude,
there
you haven't read what you
who
have
have
shared.
unexplained infertility. If you don't know about the fact that there are individuals out there who have unexplained infertility, then I'm sorry for you, but you need to look it up more. The fact that we need to show you studies is kind of ridiculous, because there's no such there's
Gosh.
no study that you would need to claim, and I tried to find something that makes sense out of it. Okay, so it's pretty clear. Like do you deny the fact that there are couples out there who have unexplained infertility?
Did I ever use that word? Unexplained.
He's asking you.
Yeah.
I
You
said-
Please
when I
answer
said
it.
If
yeah, I said that there are couples out there who are infertile together, and you said that's because they're unhealthy. And I said no,
Yes.
they're both healthy, yet they cannot reproduce.
okay, show me a study for that. The study didn't say that. The study explicitly mentions that we haven't
Jesus Christ, that's what
standardizedly diagnosed
unexplained
them.
infertility is, dude. That's what unexplained
They say-
infertility is.
they say that a
listen,
good-
how
Have you read the study?
Listen,
I have.
how
Let me
bad,
speak.
how much in bad faith do you have to be? Like the fact that it's called unexplained infertility.
Do you
What
know
do
to
you
read
think
past the
unexplained
headline?
infertility is? Do you know what unexplained infertility means?
Do you know to read past the headline? What do they say?
No, I do not. Do you know what unexplained
Yeah,
infertility
but I know to
is?
read, so I'm going to read it. So what they
Okay,
have
so do
said
you
in
know
here
what
is
unexplained
that they
infertility
haven't
means?
yet they haven't done the standardization of diagnostics to identify whether any one of them is healthy or not. This is what it's written.
Where does it say that?
What is known already. It's on the first page, third paragraph. What is known already.
It says
However, a
UI
consensual
is
standardization of
diagnosed in
diagnostic-
the absence of any abnormalities of the female and male reproductive systems after standard investigations. It means they did standard investigations.
However,
You
a
don't even know
consensual
fucking
standardization of
read.
diagnostic workup is still lacking.
Because there
Did
is
you
no
not read-
consensus
Can I
for it.
try
That
and-
doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean
Can I
anything.
try and help
Do you
get
serious?
past this?
Let's not.
Can I?
Jesus
if-
Christ.
can
No,
I-
no,
can I
chill,
just-
chill.
I don't want
no,
to get
no.
past this, because I really want this
Why,
person
I've-
to.
No,
this person
chill,
is
no.
saying that there are no such thing as individuals. There are no such thing as individuals of different sex who are trying to reproduce, and both are healthy. And you're saying that no matter what, they will reproduce. That's what you're saying, right?
If
That's
they're
your
healthy.
claim. Yeah, if both of the
Yes, if
individuals
they're
are
healthy,
healthy,
it should be
and
possible
they
for
will
them to
reproduce
reproduce.
no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's clearly a nonsensical statement, and it's
Go find me a study
unscientific. Can
then.
you show? Wait. No, you show me an evidence about your claim. that no matter how
I'll use the
that
8th
two
standard
individuals.
textbook of biology.
Sure, show
So,
me evidence
A
that
healthy
two
sperm
individuals
can
of
be
different
fused with a
sex.
healthy ova. Yeah.
No,
yes.
brother. No.
What do you want me
So
to
funny.
do?
It's so funny because you don't. I'm assuming you don't even know about ovulation and stuff like this, about how reproduction works. So show me a study, like you asked of me. Show me a study that says that unexplained infertility is not a thing. That it doesn't
That's not even my
exist.
claim. That's not even
Well,
my
that's
claim.
your
Why should I
claim.
give
That's
you
your claim.
evidence for that?
Wait, because
No.
your claim, lazy, your claim was pretty clear that if it is infertile, what did you say? That means that both of them are unhealthy, correct? That's an explanation.
I did not say that. I said either one of them is unhealthy or both of them could be unhealthy. You cannot make a conclusive statement about that.
Either one of them is unhealthy or both of them is unhealthy. So you made an explanation
Yes.
for it. That's an explained fertility. So what you're saying, in unexplained infertility does not exist.
That's not explained, dude. You don't know. When you go to a
You just said
gynecologist, they
it's
wouldn't tell you this at the
it's
first
because
sight.
one of them is
They
healthy
might-
or one of them is
You
unhealthy.
have no clue what you're talking about, okay? So sometimes what happens is the pH of the vagina of the female is too high for the sperms. So sometimes what they have to do is they have to do IVF, in vitro fertilization, instead of regular old school copulation. They are still fertile. It's just the fact that this male has a little lower what do you say, pH level, sorry, higher pH level, and the woman has lower pH level, that is, it's more acidic, therefore the sperms die.
Jesus Christ, dude, no, it's
They are
not
not infertile
Jesus
together.
Christ. So how do you explain the fact that IVF
And they can't
has
tell
a
that.
50% success rate then? Like, it's so ridiculous for you to make such a broad claim. Your claim,
Because our
by the way,
technology is not
which I
that
want
great,
to study
by the way,
for.
if you did
No,
not
lazy. I want a clear study for this. Your claim is that two healthy adults will produce a fertile offsprings.
That's
if
the
they are of
definition of
different
species,
sexes.
dude.
No, I
actually,
want,
not necessarily. I just put it into ChatGPT, and it's not the agreed upon definition of species.
Okay,
No,
read it. Let's read it. Okay.
Yeah, you can just read it. It's on my screen. I'm sharing the screen.
Yeah, can you scroll down?
Sure.
Phenotypical
Such
next.
a ridiculous thing. Jesus Christ, man. We meet these people who they want to go into the darkest holes of
Species
everything. All because they want
Species
to continue exploitation
Phenotypes of
innocent
species as a single
animals.
lineage ancestor, descendants, population that mainly other species.
Sorry, am I scrolling too fast?
Can you scroll up? What was the prompt that you have given?
Sure, of course.
Can I look at that?
How species
How
defined in modern
species
literature?
defined in
yeah.
modern literature. Okay, I'll give you a paper then.
Okay.
Let me
Give a
look it up real quick.
paper. First of all, there isn't one single definition of species. We just went by the
Yeah,
definition.
I'm just gonna
that
give you a paper.
define.
Hold on.
Sorry, is that paper gonna say
wait,
this
wait.
is the only definition of species?
No, it's gonna say that this is the definition that I use and which is standardized.
Oh, okay.
But
So
lazy,
it's gonna
can
say
you
it's
explain-
standardized definition of species. That's what it's gonna say, that paper, yeah?
Let me look it up and I'll tell you what
Okay.
exactly it says.
Sure.
Also, why would the capability to produce fertile offsprings derive moral consideration?
No, he's not making that claim. So he's making the claim that that's how he defines a species. But there is something else,
that's-
something mysterious, something axiomatic that makes him value human life, but not animal life. We went through this already, so I'm just cutting to the chase.
Yeah. No, yeah, I see it. It's just that it's such a intellectually lazy thing to say it's an axiom that I value human life. It's just intellectually lazy because
I'm sorry, I'm
you gotta
not
ask
that great as
yourself
you guys who don't value human
why
life.
do
I
you
do.
value human life? No, you just gotta ask yourself why do you value human life? And as I said, every single hypothetical that we've thrown out there, what if there are multiple species of humans? There aren't. So if there would be, you cannot answer.
No,
what
I
if
said I'll have
there
to change
are
my system then.
couples- You have to change your. Okay, so if there are multiple species of humans, how would you tackle it?
So here's the thing, right? So if you have to change your system of evaluating
Let me
species,
look up for the
hold on.
species first, then
I'm
I'll
fucking
reply
talking.
you guys.
I'm fucking talking. So if you have to change
You
your
don't fucking
definition,
talking then.
yeah, I was, and you interrupted me. So if you have to change the way you define species in order to include some individuals, then this should tell you about the fact that your definition of species is not the thing that you value. Truly,
that
this
your
should tell
values
you
are not
this.
consistent.
Here's
Your
this.
values are
This is
not
a peer
morally
reviewed.
consistent.
Hold on.
Chipa,
Your values are not logically consistent.
are you gonna look at it? Because I'm doing something else right now.
A species is an individual
Sure.
organism that interbreed and produce fertile, viable offspring. According to this definition, one species distinguished from another when in nature it's not possible for mating and produce a fertile offspring. This is peer reviewed. If you want, you can just go find them. This is where I read it from, and yeah, it's. If you ask any biologist, this is what they're gonna give you.
Oh, I watch a lot of content of people who deal with this kind of stuff, and that's how I knew to ask ChatGPT if that's even a definition. So this is.
I don't consider ChatGPT as a scholar or something. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. I know. I'm just saying it's a. So what ChatGPT is really good about is scouring the internet and giving you all the information, right?
Exactly.
Not just like one article. And then you can go in and ask it for references, right? You don't have to take what ChatGPT says. Sorry?
Do you want me to give more articles? Okay, why don't you ask ChatGPT what is the most agreed upon definition of species, and let's see what it
I did
throws.
ask that. How species defined in the modern literature, and it gave me
Could you ask
6 definitions.
What is the most agreed upon definition?
Oh, I don't really care about that. Why would I care about
you
that?
don't really care about the truth. Why would you care about truth?
Well, now who's strawmanning? I don't care about what is the most perceived definition or what is the most agreed upon definition.
Agreed upon definition? Yes, you don't care about that.
Yeah, so I might care about, hold on, so I might care about what is the most agreed upon, like what is the scientific consensus about definition, but not what is most agreed upon definition. That's just silly. That's just like appealing to consensus or something like that, appealing to like the norm.
To consensus is not.
No, yeah, I can ask it if you want. Hold on. So I can ask it if you want, so that you stop strawmanning me. What is the scientific consensus? I can ask him that.
What is the most agreed upon?
No, I don't care about the most agreed upon. It's gonna understand. Hold on, lazy. ChatGPT is gonna understand that what I'm asking for is how regular stupid humans define species. I don't give a shit about that because most humans are stupid and uneducated, including me, right? I'm not just saying it about just like willy-nilly.
Yeah, and yet you're not ready to accept academic sources. Instead, you're ready to rely on
your fact is still to need to be proven. That's why I'm going to ask it, what is the definition that is has the most scientific consensus behind it, right? It might be yours.
VPM, I'm sorry. It's just this is such a lazy, this is such a ego-driven bullshit. I don't care. Lazy, let me just put this hypothetical out there. If aliens visit us, they're peaceful aliens, they're nice aliens, they're smart aliens, they speak to us, they do everything. Would you be in favor of holocausting them like you are for animals because they're not the same species as you?
As I said, I'll have to reevaluate if there are aliens who are in fact sentient and have similar conscious experience as to us, and they respect our moral code and they know how to communicate, and they're like, okay, we respect your human rights and we would like you to respect our human rights. I'll have to reevaluate my moral system then.
So look at that,
okay,
right?
So your moral system is then not logically consistent. It's pretty clear, right? Because if you ask me if you pose any hypothetical out there, my moral system is consistent. It seems like your moral system is only consistent with this particular situation. Yes, I'm 100% sure, yeah.
Would you eat meat to, let's say the animal is already dead? Would you eat the meat then?
No.
Why?
Why wouldn't I not eat Are you asking me if it's moral to eat the meat there, or why I would not eat it?
Why wouldn't you eat the meat?
Because I don't want to. I don't like meat.
Oh, see, that's what I did, because it's my axiom. And then you
no,
guys
but we're having a conversation about morality.
Let me be clear, lazy.
Okay, give me a reason.
Let me be clear, lazy.
I don't like it isn't a reason.
Let me be clear. If you find a dead animal and you want to consume their flesh, I don't find it immoral according to my own value system. Just like if you find a dead human and you want to eat their flesh, I don't find it immoral.
You don't find it immoral to eat dead humans?
No.
That's pretty chill, dude. You are pretty chill, dude, bro. I don't know what to say to you. We have just
so you see
many disagreements.
Sure. So my system is morally consistent. Your moral system is not
really consistent.
logically consistent.
So would you eat a person in coma? who's not going to wake up, but his organs are all working except his brain. He's brain dead.
I was pretty
So would you
clear.
eat
I was
them?
pretty clear. I was pretty clear that I would not eat meat. So you keep asking me
Okay, would
what
it be
I
moral?
would do. Are you asking me if it's moral
Would it be
to
moral?
kill a
Yeah,
person
would it
who
be
is
moral?
who is? Is it moral to kill a person who is brain dead? Yes, I believe that the people who pull the plug and no longer keep a person alive that
No.
is in a vegetative state, I think they're acting morally. Yes.
So you think if a person is in a vegetative state, pulling the plug on them and eating them is moral?
I think that if that's the ritual that you want to do after they die, yeah, I don't care.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say.
I mean, sweetie, why are you laughing? Right? You're prioritizing
Yeah.
a
Because
person
it's
who is
ridiculous.
dead over a sentient
Why?
being who's alive, who's been killed
Yeah,
specifically for it, right?
So what?
So
You
we
wanna
can
laugh
laugh
about it,
back
yeah?
at you because this is such a disingenuous situation, right? We can laugh back at you and say, wait, you
Do you
would
also agree,
literally
VPN,
kill a
by the way?
pig over eating a dead being, right? If you were like stranded on a isolated island or something like that, and there was like a live pig walking around, right? And there was like your dead companion, right? Would you literally kill that pig instead of eating the dead companion?
But do you have the same feeling about the morality of eating
Sorry, can you answer my
a
question?
human who's brain dead?
Can you answer my
As
question?
he has?
Can you answer my question?
I've been answering for about an hour. Can I ask
Yeah,
you a
no,
question
no.
instead?
But I asked a specific question now, but right, because you laughed at us when Chip said that
Yes.
it wouldn't be immoral to eat a dead body, basically. So I'm asking you a question now. Can you answer it? Would you like me to repeat the question?
I would not rephrase it as you did. So I would say that he said it's all right to pull a plug on a person who's brain dead and then eat
Can you
them.
answer my question,
That's what he
please?
said.
Can you answer my question,
Can you
please?
repeat
Because
your
you laughed at
question?
us,
Sorry.
right? And now I'm putting you
Yeah,
in the same
I'm sorry.
situation.
Can you repeat
so
the question?
yeah,
I was
okay.
just
So the question
shocked
is,
by that.
so the question is, you're on a deserted island. There is a living pig, a live pig walking around, and then like a mate whom you were stranded with, somebody, you know what? Not a mate, like just like a person who's died. They're dead. The body is dead. There is
Yes.
nobody in there. Are you gonna kill a pig over eating that dead mate?
No,
Oh, why?
I wouldn't kill anybody. I don't eat animals.
Sorry, excuse me. Can you talk morally, please? Right? Not your
Yeah, I
preference.
don't eat animals.
Why don't you eat
But if
animals?
somebody does, I don't care.
Why
Because
don't
I
you eat
like eating
animals?
I don't like the idea of a dead being inside me. I don't like that. It
So
disgusts
would it
me.
be
Eating
moral for
animals
somebody
disgusts me.
would it be moral for somebody to kill the animal instead of eating the dead human?
Yeah, I
That's
don't
the
care about
question.
that. I wouldn't say it's moral. I'll say it's neutral. I don't care about
Holy
it.
shit.
Wait,
Holy
eat
shit, you would
when?
literally kill somebody instead of like eating an already dead person. Really, this is insane. Tom is correct.
Wait, VP,
I don't
let
care
me
what they
ask
do.
another thing.
I
Let
wouldn't
me
No,
mind
no,
ask
no,
if
we're
I'm
just
not
laughing
killing, I
back
wouldn't
at
kill-
you.
I wouldn't
Sorry,
kill
Chip. We're just
human.
laughing back at you like the way,
I'd rather
lazy.
starve to death.
We're
I
just
don't care
laughing
if
back at
somebody's
you
laughing at me.
because
So-
you laughed at us for this
lazy.
exact
Except
situation.
that you don't have a point to laugh at.
Oh,
wait,
absolutely
wait,
have.
I gotta-
You're literally gonna
VP,
kill
let
a
me ask
sentient
one-
being over eating an already
I said
dead
I
body.
wouldn't. I said I wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
No, but you said
it
it's
would be
moral.
wouldn't
You
kill
don't give a
like
shit
any of
about it. You
those.
said it's neutral. I'm so sorry, Chip. You can go on.
Yeah, so lazy, how do you feel about sex with animals?
Before that, I would like to ask VPM, do you agree with the chip guy? Like, would you also pull the plug on a
No,
dead
lazy,
guy? Sorry, on a
lazy.
brain dead guy and eat
How
them
do you
then? Is that
no,
okay
no,
to you?
lazy.
I
lazy,
would-
How do you feel
yeah,
about
go
sex with animals? No,
Yeah,
I
would you
don't. I
answer,
don't.
VPM?
No, we'll answer all that afterwards. Can you
Yeah,
tell me
I
how
See,
you
I've
agree
been
with Chip.
answering
sex
you
with
guys for
animals?
about an hour
Lazy,
now,
I
and
agree
haven't
with
received
Chip.
a single
Now,
answer from
I
your
agree
side.
with Chip. Now, answer Chip's question.
Okay, yeah, that's really good. We have two mates here who are ready to pull a plug and
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you're ready
so-
to kill a
so
sentient
lazy.
being
What's the
over
question?
eating a dead body. Ha ha
So
ha ha.
how do you feel? Do you
What's the
think
question?
sex with animals moral or is it immoral?
I believe it's immoral.
You believe sex with animals is immoral? Why is sex with animals
Yes.
immoral? They're a different species.
Because they are closely related to humans, and a person who's ready to rape an animal, I just logically extend it to that they would be okay with sexually harassing a woman or raping a woman or another man or
No,
somebody like that.
no, this person would not sexually harass a person.
Yeah,
They
then I
would
don't care.
only
If
sexually
it's
harass an
if
animal.
it's in isolation,
Holy
if it is in
shit.
isolation, that means they're on a planet where there is a pig and there is a guy and he just humps them.
No,
I don't
no.
care.
They're not in
But if it,
isolation. They still live in this society, but
yeah,
they
I do
want
care
to have
about that
sex
then.
with animals.
Yeah, then it's immoral.
Why is it immoral?
I just said because this indicates that you basically are a psychopath. You don't have empathy and you lack you
So
lack the
lazy.
respect for.
You said you eat whey. Did you know that animals are sexually exploited for the production of milk?
I don't care again. If it's
What do you
not
mean you
done
don't
for
care? That's
pleasuring.
literally, but it is for your pleasure, right? Why do you eat whey?
No, it's not from a because it's like a good alternative to other things from where I can get protein.
So wait a minute, lazy, because you have in front of you two alternatives, right? You have two solutions. One, behind one, there is sexual exploitation of an animal, and behind the other, there is no sexual exploitation of the animal. You can get nutrition from both. Why do you choose
I
the
think
one
it's
that
neutral.
has
I don't
sexual
think it's innately
exploitation?
bad to sexually exploit an animal.
So okay,
I
so
don't think
then
I
let
ever
me.
said that.
Okay, so why is sexual exploitation of an animal not bad, but having sex with an animal is bad? Like, let me put it this way, lazy. Why is it bad
Because
to jerk off
I
a
am
bull? No,
afraid.
let me finish.
Yeah, I'm
Why
going to
is it
respond.
bad to jerk off? Why is it bad to jerk off a bull to get their sperm and use that to inseminate a cow, versus
I don't
to
think it's
jerk off a
bad because
bull
it's to
because you
get
get
food
sexual
to
pleasure
feed
from
people.
it?
Lazy, literally
so
let
why
him
is that-
finish. Literally, like.
Why is it bad to jerk off a bull?
I don't think it's bad.
Because you lazy. Let me finish, please. So you don't think jerking off a bull is bad, even if you get sexual pleasure from it?
I think then it's bad because then you're doing it out of pure psychopathy.
Okay,
And you
okay.
could do it to another human as well.
So jerking off a bull in your situation, if you jerk off a bull and you put that sperm unconsensually in a cow's vagina, it's okay. But if you jerk off a bull for your pleasure, it's not okay.
Yes. Just like if you kill a cow
Okay, so
to feed
now
people,
let's move
that's
on.
okay.
Okay,
But if you kill a
let's
cow
move on.
just because you
Let's
like
move
it,
on
you like the
even
rush,
further.
you like the blood flowing, then it's wrong.
Okay, let's move on even further. Why is it bad? Why is it okay to unconsensually jerk off a bull, unconsensually inseminate a cow? So do all of this. Why is it bad to get a product that you want because out of convenience or maybe taste pleasure, when you can get
Did I
the
say
same
it's bad?
nutrition? No, why is it good? Sorry. But when you can get the same nutrition
I think it's neutral.
from a plant-based product.
Yeah, I just said I think it's neutral. I sometimes have plant protein and I sometimes have whey protein. I don't really care about where it's coming from. It's just the price. So whichever is low, I usually buy that.
Okay, that's a good. Well, let's see, Alex. Rafaela posted a good point. So what if while you're jerking off the bull, you also get sexual pleasure, but you do it to inseminate a cow? Is that good or is that bad?
No, that's bad.
So if
If I eat the cow afterwards, it's okay. Even if I had like a really hard dick while I did it, as long as I eat it afterwards.
No, it's bad because you were enjoying the process of like
Okay, so I have
torture
to
and something
cry
like that.
while raping the bull. I have to be really sad about it in order for it to be okay to feed people.
Yeah, you should not be enjoying it at least. That's my
Okay,
stance.
so I should be suffering while I grape the animal. Then it
You
is
don't have
okay
to suffer.
feed
You
the
could be
animal,
like
and if I
nonchalant about it. I don't know.
enjoy eating the animal, even though I wouldn't have to because I simply could live vegan, then it's not okay. Got it.
As I said,
Thanks.
it's neutral. It's neutral.
why?
It isn't.
But lazy.
Convince
why?
me of
Why all
otherwise.
of
I don't
this?
know.
Why?
Why not?
Why? Like because you see, you have this like this is why I say you're intellectually lazy, because you draw these lines that you can't explain. You can't say that this is an axiom.
You do that
So
too.
explain to me.
No,
lazy.
absolutely not.
You can't say. Yeah, you can't say that this is an axiom. So please explain to me why it is morally wrong to get a boner while you artificially inseminate a cow.
And as I said, that's because we live in a human society where a
Why is
person
that
is
morally
getting
wrong?
pleasure out of harassing an animal and
Okay,
not
let's
because
say I get a boner every time I grape animals, but I really want to work in
I
the
think I would
slaughterhouse in
prefer
order
to talk
feed
to
the
one
people,
person.
though they could all live vegan. Must I then chop off my dick, quit my job, to be a good person? Or should I just be vegan and stop enslaving animals?
I mean, honestly, if you're getting hard for jerking off a bull, it doesn't matter if you become a vegan or not. You are
Yeah, but
a
where's the
pathetic person
difference
regardless.
Which is like sexual pleasure, or eating their bones, which is like
Guys,
taste pleasure, because you could
this is
obviously
insane.
live vegan and get all nutrition from a plant-based diet. So you're also just doing it for pleasure, convenience, tradition, habit, taste. Those are the only reasons why you're not vegan.
Did
So
I
it's
say
both
that?
pleasure. It's the truth. There are no other reasons, but feel free to provide me with something that I haven't experienced in the last 5 years of my animal rights activism.
So as I
What is your
said,
reason to
it's
not
neutral.
be vegan?
Yeah,
No, what's
that's what
your
I'm
reason to
saying.
not be vegan?
Because I don't see a reason to be vegan. Therefore, I eat vegan products, I eat
But
non-vegan
you
products, I
understand
eat,
that animals suffer if you're not vegan, and you obviously do have a moral baseline.
and I don't care
from-
about animals suffering.
Wait,
If
wait. So
it is
if you
being
don't care about
Wait,
suffering, wait,
the bullet, thank you.
why is it then bad to jerk off a bull if you don't care about the bull suffering?
that's
Let me
that's
ask
what
you this,
happens
is
when you
it
don't
bad-
let people complete
no,
their statement.
No,
lazy,
guys, you're
lazy,
strawmanning.
Lazy.
Let me fix this. No.
lazy.
You
Is it-
Chip, you're
is-
strawmanning.
One second.
You're strawmanning him,
You know,
though.
5 people, and yet not one of them can argue in good faith.
No, but
Not
you
one.
No.
Dude,
Lazy, come on.
stop it.
Chip, you are strawmanning him, though. He said he only cares about the boner because of the humans, not because of the animals.
Yes.
Yeah, but let me. That's what I was gonna do now. Okay, so let me ask you this, Lazy, because so you only care about the boner because this individual could potentially harm
Lives
a
in
human
a
being.
human society. Yes. And is more likely.
But
and
if
he
this individual
might
will
not have the same
never, if
amount
you
of
know for a
empathy.
fact, if you know for a fact that this individual will never harm a human being, then them getting a boner is okay.
What? So that's what I said. If the incident is isolated, that means they're on some other planet where there are these 2 people.
No,
Sorry,
it's not
one person and one
isolated
pig.
physically.
If it's not isolated,
physically.
then I
If
cannot
they
know for
still
sure
live in
whether
the
he's going to do
society.
something or
Wait,
not.
hold on.
Sorry,
So
well-
somebody who is likely to rape an animal is also likely to rape a human? Is that your claim?
Yeah, because if they enjoy it, yeah.
Yeah, so...
If let's say somebody put a gun on their head and said, you know,
Sorry,
it's
sorry,
necessary
so
for you to rape this animal.
What
not
is no? So sorry. So what is the mechanism that somebody who's raping animals would also enjoy raping humans? What's the mechanism that equates those 2 situations? That makes it likely that a person who rapes an
Not
animal
caring
would
about
also rape a
consent.
human?
for your own pleasure, not caring about consent of other beings for your own pleasure. That would be the...
Okay, so you do care about human animal beings there. It just sounds like that it's not okay to rape an animal because that wouldn't consider
Because it would translate
that
to
animal,
humans,
right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that wouldn't consider the person who's raping an animal wouldn't be considering the animal. And you think that this is the mechanism that would then also make them go rape a human being because they violate consent of animals. So they're likely to also violate consent of human beings and not care about their well-being,
Pleasure
right?
is the keyword here.
Yeah, so it just
Or
sounds
pleasure
like
is
a
the keyword,
contradiction to me because before you said you don't give a
No.
shit about animals. Anybody else
and I've
thinks
been
that
saying
there
that.
is
I
a
don't
contradiction there?
I've been saying that from the very
Yeah.
beginning. If you watch your stream, I said, I don't think animals have any innate right. I think they are philosophical zombies. They can, just you can do anything that you like with them in isolation. But if it is in the human society and they live with us, I think then there are few rights that we have to give to the animals.
Sorry, you
Those-
didn't
but
say
they're not
that in the
innately.
beginning. I have a really good memory, but also this just means
been saying that.
So, no, but this just means fine. I'll grant that you said that, but this just means that we should consider animals and not rape them, right?
Yeah, we shouldn't rape animals, yes.
Yeah. So why
But
is
not
it okay
innately.
to
It's
rape
not-
animals for whey, though?
Because there is a justifiable reason. That's what I said.
There's a justifiable reason to rape. Can you find a justifiable reason to rape a human being? Like if
Yes.
it produces whey, for instance?
No.
No. So what's the difference there?
Maybe if somebody points a gun at your head and says rape.
Yeah.
then-
So let's not go to the extremes. That's incredibly disingenuous. So what's the difference there,
What?
right?
I thought you liked hypotheticals.
Yeah, sure. I like hypotheticals. What you're saying is not a hypothetical. You're just like constraining my question in order to answer a Moat and Bailey. So you're answering the
No, that
Bailey
was a
and not the Moat.
hypothetical.
The mode is, right, you said, well, it's okay to rape animals if it provides some
If there
kind
is a
of, if it
justification.
provides a product, right, if it's like beneficial.
No, if there is a good justification. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah, if there is a good justification. So since you are the one who equated animals and humans in that way, because you said a human being who rapes an animal is likely to also go rape a human being, right?
pleasure.
Because both violate consent. So you made an maybe not an equation, but at least a comparison there. So what would be the morally
said
relevant?
it would
So what would be?
translate-
I'm finishing my question. So what would be the morally
Don't
relevant?
misquote me then.
So what would be the morally relevant difference between an animal and a human being? That it wouldn't be okay to rape a human being, even if you think it's like justified. Like in this case, right? The justification is, oh, I have this product that I can really easily replicate in other means. Right? The
So the
justification
answer
is important here, right? So you are okay with raping animals for whey when you can go and buy a soy product.
Okay, I'll answer you. So, for example, justification for killing a human would be them using a lethal force on you, right? If there is a person who's rushing at you with an axe.
Yeah, and a
In that
justification
point,
for
their
killing an
right to
animal.
le-
Hold on, and a
Can I-
justification
can I
for killing an
please-
animal would
can I
be
please complete?
just I want a product.
Can I complete?
No.
I cannot complete? That's
Yeah,
not
I'm
very
kinda
fair.
I
tired
also
of you.
don't.
I'll let you speak.
There's a lot of stuff in your views, man. Like you call animals moralistic zombies. Do you have any evidence that animals are moralistic zombies?
That just means that I don't care whether they live or they die in isolation.
No, moralistic zombie does not mean that. But okay, do you need evidence that animals make choices, that they have emotions, and that they have a subjective
I don't care
experience of
about
the world?
that. I know those things. I know those all things. Now let me complete
Okay.
my talking point that I was talking to VPM. So, justification to kill a human being would be way different than to, let's say, justification to kill a cockroach.
Why?
I could kill a cockroach if it's disturbing me. That's just, as I said, I don't grant them the same rights.
Axiom.
Would you be okay with killing a non-sentient human, somebody who was in a coma?
No,
as
because
you
they
said,
belong
and
to
it's a vegetative
because
state?
they classify in my necessary condition they are a human being. They belong to the same species.
So somebody
So I
who's in a
wouldn't.
vegetative state, if the family of the person decides to pull the plug and kill them, essentially, you would find what they're doing as immoral.
Oh, hold on. Brain dead? If you're talking about a brain dead person,
Yeah, I said the
I don't
vegetative
care.
state. That's
Yeah,
what I said.
you can kill them. The
Okay,
brain dead is
so-
not
okay.
always vegetative,
Okay.
by the way.
Okay. What's the difference? What's the difference between a human being that's not brain dead and a human being that is brain dead that justifies killing them?
Brain dead is actually dead. So if you go look up the meaning
No,
of
brain
brain
dead is
death,
not
it
actually
means a
dead.
person is
No.
dead.
No.
Okay, go find me a person ever in the history who was brain dead and then regained consciousness. That has never happened.
But I didn't
The
say
le-
that they have consciousness or that they regain consciousness. I said they're not dead. They're still alive. So what is the
How are they
difference
alive?
between
What do you mean
a
by
human
alive?
being? They're alive. I mean by they have
what
a
do you mean
life.
by
Their
alive?
heart is beating. That's
Do you
what
think
I
if
mean
heart's
by
beating,
alive.
then a person is alive? Do you know after chopping off the head for about a minute or so, the heart keeps on beating? Would you say the person is alive?
I would say that a person who is alive is alive. If all their organs work, including their brain, for basic functions, then that person is alive. So
Yeah, but
if
brain
this
doesn't
person,
work in
if
brain
this
death.
person,
if you
no,
interpret.
brain dead does not mean that their brain doesn't work, brother. Like you
Yes,
don't even
brain
know
doesn't
that.
work.
Yeah, I would
No,
agree
brain
with
dead-
Lazy there. Brain dead means there is no signs of that brain being alive. A person can still be considered being alive because of the, I don't know, heartbeat, heart and stuff like that. But somebody who's brain dead, that's death.
Oh yeah, you're right. It does
Yeah.
include
What could
the-
happen
the
is
brain-
the heart
including
could be
activity with
pumping,
your brainstem.
the kidneys could be functioning, but they cannot communicate to the brain because brain is gone. That's brain death.
Okay, so what you're
That's
saying is
scientific
that
depth.
okay, so what you're saying is that the brain is what matters of a human being, right?
If you want to classify somebody as being dead or alive, yes, brain is what matters.
Well, no, according to you, it's okay to kill somebody if their brain is still functioning or not. If their brain is not functioning, then
No,
it's
obviously
wrong
not.
to kill them.
If there's a human being whose brain is functioning, I would not be in the favor of killing them.
Okay, but why? What's the difference between killing a person? Like, what's the morally difference between killing a person whose brain is functioning, a person whose brain is not functioning?
Because a person whose brain is not functioning isn't a person anymore. I don't know if you recognize, but person in philosophy is used as collection
Well, that's
of
not a philosophical
memories,
definition, though. That's a
consciousness.
medical definition. Let's not mix up
Okay,
those.
so if a person, okay, let's go by the medical terms. If the person is brain dead, they're declared as point blank dead, not just brain dead, actual dead. So in that case, there is nobody for me to kill because they're dead already. So that's the difference. I hope that makes sense.
So are you saying that the somebody comes out of doesn't come out of their human shape or their human body, but rather their brain?
I don't recall saying that.
Wait, so then you're saying that a person who is brain dead, whose brain is not functioning, is not a
It's
somebody,
dead.
and the person is not a somebody. That's what you said. And the person
Yes.
whose brain is functioning is a somebody.
Is somebody. Correct. Very
Yeah,
good.
so using simple logic, I don't have to prove anything. I just use A minus B, and that means that a brain is what makes somebody a somebody, correct? A functioning brain.
It is a necessary condition. It's not sufficient though. So it could be possible that your brain's working, but and your brain is quite functional, but you have lost the heart. Your brain is totally healthy, but due to loss of circulation of blood, because your heart was short or
I'm not asking you
something
when a
like that.
person is alive or not. I'm asking you when does an individual deserve moral consideration? Because as we've established so far, that
If you
if
want
an individual
that,
if an
that's written in
individual is
the
brain dead,
BPM's notepad. So I gave 2 points. Number 1 for moral consideration is that the person should be belonging to the same species as human species. And number 2, that this was the necessary condition. Second was a sufficient condition. Sufficient condition was that he should be able to respect the moral code of the society and reciprocate the values that we assign to them, if they're capable of doing so. If they're not capable of doing so, then we should put them into some mental asylums or treat them for whatever treatment is available. These were the 2 options that I gave. These are my baselines.
It seems like you have another one. And that is that their brain needs to function. Because they can be a human without a functioning brain also. They can still be
humans
part
are
of
humans,
the human
even
species.
if they're dead. Do you not agree with me on that humans are still humans if they're dead?
Well, I don't think that dead humans deserve moral consideration to not kill them. So that's not the point.
I'm not saying would you grant them the right to live because they are already dead. You wouldn't grant them the right to live. But would you say that who am I talking to? You were the one who said that you would be okay if somebody eats a brain dead person. I don't know.
According to you, it's okay to kill them, so I don't see what the problem would be. Lazy.
I didn't say
You keep coming back to that, but
you said
fucked up shit way worse.
I didn't say that.
What? Excuse me,
you
said
didn't
it's
say that
okay.
if a person is brain dead. Yeah, you said it's okay to kill them. I just asked you just
They're
now.
already dead. They're already dead.
Yeah, and Chip said it's okay to eat that dead person. What's the problem?
Because
you laughed really hard about it, so you better have a fucking idea why that's wrong, right?
I'm sorry for laughing at the idea of some person eating another dead person, and
so what's the problem with that?
Being vegans.
So really, no, Lazy, really point out what's the problem. Really point out, please. As if we were 5-year-olds. Point it out why it's not okay to eat a dead person.
Yes, I would, if you let me speak. So, to me, a person who eats dead bodies of humans, and let's say a person drops dead and that person runs away, runs to that person and takes his knife and starts eating them. To me, I would never feel safe with that person because he's looking for opportunities where he finds men who are dead and eat them. I wouldn't be safe around them. No society would function ever because it would be having a lack of trust. They would lack the trust in each other.
That just sounds like your feelings and not a moral consideration. So please make it like a moral judgment and not showing us your feelings.
I'm glad you brought that up. So yeah, in subjective philosophy, my feelings are what decide my moral considerations.
The fuck they do.
And judgments.
Logic does. The fuck they do? Yeah, it's
Okay,
so
that's right.
funny
Thing.
that
Moral
you can't
subjectivity.
actually explain what would be morally wrong with eating a dead person, and yet you are totally okay with having like zero
I literally
value,
did.
zero value
Is
to
there
animals,
anybody
but
here who
also
did
not
not hear
zero
what I
value
said
to animals, right? At
on why
first
we
you said,
shouldn't eat
no,
dead humans?
lazy. At first, in the beginning, you said, I value animals to point of zero, and then you said, no, but it's not okay to rape animals, right? So please stop laughing at us. You are just emoting at us illogically this entire time.
Literally,
try
I did not
something
do
else?
that. You guys accepted
so-
that it will be okay
Sure.
if you eat a dead person.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
not something I'm
Sure,
making up or
lazy.
straw manning you guys.
Yeah.
And I have a reason
Sure,
why.
lazy.
Yeah,
I
but you
don't like that.
sure as fuck can't explain why it's morally wrong.
Yeah.
I just
you
said
can't.
why it's wrong.
No, you just
Okay,
said,
lazy.
oh, my
Lazy.
feelings are
Lack
gonna
of
get
trust.
hurt.
Lazy,
He
if you
just
had
has
the
a
guarantee,
selfish moral system.
Lazy, if you had the guarantee that the person in front of you who is eating the other human would never harm you, like it's just a guaranteed hypothetical, would it then be like okay for you if they ate just the human that dropped dead?
As I answered earlier, I frankly wouldn't answer questions which are like totally isolated without.
Hey, you're hypo denying. You're dishonest, debate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
No,
so
I'm
lazy,
not
I want to try
hypo-denying.
something with you.
Yes. That's what
My
it is.
moral judgments are going to be totally
Can-
You
pragmatic.
literally
So
just said that you're not
Hold on.
answering questions.
So
not.
pragmatically, I
So-
don't even see lazy. So pragmatically,
I'm a
hold on,
utilitarian
lazy,
normative sense.
lazy.
Wait, let
Pragmatically,
me answer the
pragmatically,
questions. Guys, you guys are so fucking insecure. You're not letting me talk.
lazy. Yeah, because
pragmatic and selfish.
yeah, pragmatically,
it's-
pragmatically lazy. You admitted. Hold on, you admitted
crying.
that pragmatically, you admitted there is a difference between a living human being and a brain-dead human being, right? A dead human being. So I don't see again the mechanism that would make somebody who's eating a dead person, knowing that that person died naturally, would then come to you. So your emotions, although valid, are illogical.
Okay, I'll
VPN,
answer
can
the
I
question
can
that Dimilante, whatever your name is. I'm sorry, I'm not able to pronounce that. So your question was, what would be your moral judgment if a person ate another person who, and they will never ever repeat this in future, right? They will never ever do this.
No, they
Nobody
would
else
never
will be
come for
threatened by
you.
them.
Her question was, they would never come for you, and you know that.
Okay, is that your question, Dai? That they would never come for me, or would that be in general that they would never eat somebody else?
Like harm a living. They would never harm a living person, so they wouldn't harm society in any way.
Yeah, they wouldn't harm anybody else. Okay, yeah. So I got it right. So look, this is a very simple. I use this analogy a lot of times. So let's say that you're speeding in an area where it's 20, but you go 60. Technically, you did not harm
It's an
anybody.
yes or
but
no question.
you have broken.
It's a yes or no question. I'm not gonna play this game. It's a yes or no.
Yeah, I
question.
think it's
Very
wrong.
simple.
I think it's wrong.
You think it's wrong? Okay, but then you have a contradiction.
No, I don't. That's what I was
You
trying to
agree that you have
explain.
a contradiction? You have a
No,
contradiction.
that's what I was trying to explain. That these are the rules that we have set as society, and if you break them, it is wrong. That's what it means to me to be wrong. If you break
But the
these rules,
reason why you said it wasn't okay leads you to a contradiction.
sorry.
You have to accept that. You have to accept that the reason you explained why it was wrong primarily leads you to a contradiction. You accept that, right?
No,
Well, then you're just, like I said, a dishonest, bad faith debate.
you don't know what a contradiction is. Please shut your mic.
Okay. So there's one more thing, lazy. You said
define what a
that it
contradiction
is
is, Lazy.
wrong. Yeah.
If I do, would how much are you gonna cash at me?
What?
What the fuck is
Okay,
wrong with you,
so
lazy?
you have pointed out a contradiction. Can you tell me what's the P and not P in my statements?
Yeah, you said the reason why you said it's wrong that a person in front of you eats another human being is that they come for humans and it reflects badly on society. And then you also said that it's okay if it doesn't. So yeah, that's still wrong if it doesn't. So that's a contradiction. If you said that that's the
That's
main,
not a
that's the only
contradiction.
reason why
That is
There's no negation that you have provided
literally
to my
contradiction.
statement.
morally significant difference, and suddenly it's not the morally significant difference. That's literally what a contradiction means.
No,
Saying it is
a
and
contradiction
saying it
would
is
be
not
if
the
I
same
said that it's wrong to eat animals, and I also say it's right to eat animals,
So-
or it is not wrong to eat
Rafaela,
animals.
I think something worse has
When you
happened.
say
Rafaela, sorry, I think something worse has happened. I think he just didn't answer your specific question. I think he just said, well, no, it's your question is impossible, therefore.
No, he did.
I didn't
answer
say
those
that.
two.
Well, you said,
answered.
so what would be the answer to Rafaela's question if you knew that that
It's
person
it's
would
still
never
exactly what I
come,
said.
would never come to for another sentient being? That person would never come
Yeah, and
for
I
another
answered. I
sentient
don't
being.
think you were listening.
Yeah,
were
I
you?
was.
I said
So
that
what would be wrong
as
with that? Can you
society,
repeat?
We have moral codes. So if even if you don't hurt anybody speeding in a 20 zone by going 60, it's still wrong because you broke the rules that are generally nice. So breaking a rule, for example, throwing a knife at somebody which didn't hit them, it's still wrong. It harmed nobody, but it is a wrong action because it could have. So and it's the possibility that of the person doing that again. That's what classifies it as wrong, not.
Sorry, that's a
because
slippery
it will
slope fallacy.
guarantee- No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't consider informal fallacies. I don't entertain them at all.
Oh, there you go.
can take that
Yeah,
back.
There you go.
yeah. So there's
He would slaughter the Na'vi, right? He'd be okay with
Sure.
what in that movie Avatar of just slaughtering all of the Na'vi because they're not humans, right?
haven't seen
and
the movie.
Raccoon, you'd be willing to experiment on Rocket Raccoon and kill him if you were in that universe. Your
I
moral
haven't seen the
system,
movie. Sorry,
is
you'll have to
against
do more than
all
that.
non-humans, right? That
I
must
haven't
be-
seen the movie, dude. You'll have to do more than that to explain to me what the situation is.
No, I'm saying your moral system is bigoted to all non-humans, so that means
Yeah.
that you would slaughter the
Bigoted?
Na'vi. James Cameron's the Avatar, which has like the highest grossing of any film of all time. So you've never heard of it?
I've heard of the movie. I haven't watched it.
Okay, you know those blue people is based on Dance with Wolves, about the way the American settlers took advantage of the Indians, or the Native Americans. It's based on that Dance with Wolves.
Okay.
Well, this movie is about humans taking advantage of a peaceful race of aliens on another planet who happen to be blue. And
Yeah,
and they
I don't
take
think that would
advantage- and
still
humans
mean
take
that I'm a
advantage of them,
bigot.
exploit them, and you're on their side. You're on the side of the bad guys in the movie, who would take advantage of this innocent, helpless group of people that happen to be blue, and you would just slaughter them all for their resources because they're not human, right? You're a bigot. That's basically
No,
what your
that's-
moral system is,
I
right?
literally answered. First of all, bigotry has to be against a person. That's people. So you can't be bigot against animals. That you can't
You
be bigoted.
can't- no,
that
no,
is-
but no,
that
no,
He
no,
doesn't
wasn't
make
saying
sense.
animals.
It's definitionally wrong.
He
No,
wasn't
no,
saying
you just
animals, he was
switched
saying
it. You're talking
aliens.
about
Second.
now. You just
He
switched
was
it.
saying
Second.
aliens.
Oh, that's the aliens.
Yeah, you can't be
can't
bigoted
speak like
against
that.
aliens because they are not people.
Can you define
Right, so you'd
bigotry
be
really
bigoted,
quickly?
You would be on the side of the bad guys in that movie.
Okay, a person who has strong or unreasonable beliefs about whoever
He's on the side
does
of the
not
people
agree
that
with them.
slaughtered the Native Americans. That's his philosophy. He's against. He would slaughter the Na'vi the way he would be supportive of slaughtering Native Americans. They're
No,
just simply
you have
not
no
his
clue
group.
about my.
They're
You
not-
have no
in
clue
this
about
case,
my
they're not
beliefs.
human.
I've already said multiple times that if you bring an alien species or some new species into the debate, then I might have to reevaluate my system.
Okay,
I
well,
wouldn't do that.
reevaluate it then. Explain. Because everything you're
But
saying
I don't
is,
see such
is based
situation
upon
happening, so
species
maybe when
preference.
it comes, I will
Like-
reevaluate then.
Can I try something different? Can I try something different? We already tried the alien one, and I'm curious about something else now.
Oh, okay.
So, so lazy. You know the sheep of Theseus, right? You know the idea that
Yes.
you replace every part. Okay. So you know the fact that nowadays we're genetically engineering pigs so that we can use their body parts and transplant to humans. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yes, I'm aware.
Okay. So let's imagine that a human being starts transplanting every single organ in their body from a human to a pig. Is this person still human if all their organs are coming from pigs?
I don't know. That's a really difficult philosophical question. I don't have answer to that.
Would that make you reevaluate your position?
Oh,
I'm
I'm
just
sorry.
trying to understand
To be a
because
vegan,
what
do I
is-
have to be overconfident in things
No.
that I don't know about? I'm sorry.
No.
I'm
No,
not
no,
doing
no.
that.
I'm not making a judgment
Okay.
on you saying I don't know. I don't know is a totally a valuable answer, right? It's totally genuine. I'm just asking if it would make you reevaluate what a species is.
What a species is? No, that wouldn't make me reevaluate because the definition that
But the
I work
question-
with and most people who our biologists work with will still remain intact.
Okay, but
Because hold on, because even if you replace each and every single organ like kidneys and uh, throat muscles or something, whatever you like, the DNA that you are going to carry is not going to get changed, and that's what's
okay,
going to be passed to the next generation.
sure. Sure,
So it wouldn't change
sure.
the definition
So
of
lazy.
species.
Yes. So let me ask you this, because if this human being has every body part in every organ replaced with a pig organ, do they still deserve moral consideration?
Do you mean gonads as well?
I do mean gonads as well. Yes.
And DNA?
Well, DNA depends on where you get it from, obviously.
I don't understand.
But let's say
What do you mean
slowly.
by-
Let's say, well, it depends on where you get it from, because if I would say the only thing that remains is the skin. And if you get it from the skin, you'll have your DNA. But if you get it from the organs, you will have a pig organ DNA, pig DNA, whatever.
Okay.
It could be a
so
hybrid. It
what
could be a
would be the
pig-human
DNA
hybrid.
in your
It could
sperm?
be
What would be the
pig-human
DNA?
hybrid, but it's
Would it
both
be
DNAs.
no? What
No,
would be the
that
DNA in
answers
the
your
sperm?
question as both DNAs. It's a pig-human hybrid.
Okay, let him ask the question, dude. Or you can take over.
No, I was just,
So-
I'm
so-
sorry, no, that's fine. I was just adding that he's a pig-human hybrid, so he has both DNAs. I've answered your question.
Yeah.
Okay, if he
so
wants, then he
it's-
can add this constraint to his question. Do you want to add this constraint?
It doesn't matter. Like it is true. He would have both DNAs at the same time. So,
So what would be passed to his
does he still
offspring?
deserve moral consideration?
What would be the DNA in his ova or sperm? What would be that?
He cannot produce fertile offsprings with anybody.
Okay, now what's
Well,
your
you
question
probably
then?
have more pig-human hybrids.
Does he
You probably have
deserve
more
moral
pig-human hybrids.
consideration?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You're not sure if this person who has had all their organs transplanted from animals.
Yeah, I'm
he
assuming
does not
everything, including brain, gonads, sperms.
No, I never said brain.
Ovas,
No.
everything. No? Okay, just the brains
No,
left?
no. Yeah.
Okay, and he cannot reproduce at all
No.
with
No.
anybody,
Nobody.
even with the other hybrids.
Nobody.
Yes, I'll count that as a human, I guess.
So he deserves moral consideration.
Yep.
Okay. So if we take the brain of a human and put them in the head of in the carcass, the literal carcass of a pig, that would be exactly the same thing, right? So then
Yeah, pretty
that
much.
individual looks like a pig but has the brain of a human and deserves moral consideration, correct?
Sure.
Okay, so it is true that individuals who have the brains of a human are the ones who deserve moral consideration. They don't even have to be human.
That's necessary condition. That's not sufficient, though. Sufficiency would be if they are classified as species of human. So species of human would be classified as, again, as I've said again and again.
But this would
If-
not be a species of human, because we've established
Yeah, it
that
would be
if
more
we
like a
take their
mutant of
brain
human
and put them-
species because
Well,
when they
not
were
even,
born.
because if we take their brain and put them in a pig, they're more of a mutant of a pig species.
No, actually, it would be not. So what we are doing here is when the person was born, he had perfectly healthy gonads, which could reproduce with a healthy female and give a fertile
No, he
offspring.
couldn't
But
when he was born, of course not.
why?
All this because you can't reproduce when you were born, by the way. All this thing that happened
Oh,
happened
I don't
1 year
think you
after they
know
were
about
born.
this,
Before
but
their
when a woman's born,
bef-
so the ovas are already there in her ovaries, so you can just extract it and save it.
not a
Did you know
man.
that?
Not a man.
Okay, what not about a man? So we are going to perform these surgeries to a man after he reaches the age of consent, right? Before that, he had all the. I think when you turn 12,
No,
you
this
start shooting just.
all this happened before this person developed sexual maturity. So would this person still
Damn, that's
deserve moral
pretty moral
consideration?
act. Yeah,
So,
because
well,
that
no,
person
because
was
you're
violated,
saving
I
their
guess.
life. So this person deserves. It would be the only way to save their life would be to take their brain and put it in the body of a pig. Would they still deserve moral consideration?
Yeah, sure, because he was born in a human species, sure.
Strictly because he was born in a certain way.
Yeah, because he was born as a human. Yes, human species.
I'm really
But-
curious what he thinks about pig-human hybrids, because they will create them someday. They'll be able to create, like, they'll merge the DNA of humans. They've already done these experiments. So, like, when they create a pig-human hybrid, do you think that that being, who's still very sentient, maybe able to talk, should be treated as less than because he's a pig-human hybrid and not a full-blooded human. Is that what it is?
One second, Nick, because we've reached a point, and I have to go. That's the only reason why. Then you guys can do whatever.
Yeah, I'll have to go
I'm
as
curious
well in
because
10 minutes.
we reached a point where you said that they were born a human, but now they're in the body of a pig,
Pig.
and the brain is of a human, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so what is the morally significant difference between this individual and an actual pig that justifies giving moral consideration to one but not the other?
They weren't born a human.
They
That is
weren't
the necessary
born a human.
condition. Yeah, and then sufficient would be that they also don't care about they don't respect my moral code at all. They don't even
What
have
is
the
a
capacity
human?
to do.
What is a human? How are you born a human? I guess because then we have to go through this. Jesus
you're
Christ,
born
man,
to
you
parents
are
who-
you are. I'll give you this, man. You are an expert at dodging and finding the point. So, tell me, what is a human being?
I don't know what you're talking.
What is
Okay,
a human
repeat your
being
question.
when they're born? What is a human being when they're born?
Okay, a human being would be a person who's born to parents. Would you like me to define human being, or would you like me to define what is a person who's born as a human being?
No, person who's born. If you find
Okay.
a baby
If
in
a-
a forest, they look human.
that's
How would you know
human.
if they deserve moral consideration or not?
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm about to tell you.
You don't know if they're
the
born
baby,
of humans.
You don't know. Okay, so I think we can
No.
run DNA testings on them.
Well,
and
okay, so if you cannot run DNA testing on them, would it be okay to then do they not deserve moral consideration?
what do you mean they cannot run DNA test?
You cannot run DNA testing on them.
What does that mean? Like, are they immune to injections
All
or
the
something?
DNA
We
testing
cannot-
in the world got destroyed in a fire. You can't run it
There
on
you
them.
go.
Okay, so the next best thing that we can do is look at the features of the baby, and
Like what
we can
features?
wait. Like, do they look like a human?
I mean, they look like a baby.
Yeah, human baby.
Yep.
Sure, a human baby.
Yeah, so I'd grant them because I don't conclusively know what species they belong to, and they seem to be human, so I would assume that they're human.
So it all runs
Okay.
up to phenotype in the end. Huh?
Yeah, it all runs up to the same
No,
the
it's
question
not
that we ask you,
phenotype
which
because
phenotype
you
it
guys-
is.
No,
You
it's
ask,
not,
do they
because
look like
you
a
guys
human? That's a phenotype.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
a
and I'm
group of
assuming that they're a
phenotypes.
human.
And then you
How can I
find
be
out
100%
that they are
sure? I
not a
can't.
human.
They could be a Kryptonian, for all I know. They could be Superman. That could be Superman. I have no clue. But to
And
me,
it's
it
okay
looks
to
like they're
slaughter
human.
Superman for
But if it
burgers,
was
right?
Superman, you leave him in a dumpster, right? Because Superman has no value in your universe. You'd leave him in a dumpster.
Yeah, but I can't tell that if you guys are going to destroy each and every genetic testing kit
Right, but you would leave
in the
Superman
world,
in
I
a
wouldn't be able to
dumpster.
tell.
That's how little you value someone if you know they're not human, even if they're exactly like a human in every other way. This is Superman, and you would throw him in a
No.
dumpster and
if I
experiment on
find-
him because he's not a human.
Let's say,
right?
yeah, Nikki, if I find a species of aliens who look exactly like humans, or they're really close to looking exactly like humans, but their skin color is black or something, or like dark gray, or some weird color, green, as they show. In that sense, I would have to reevaluate my moral system and they can understand the moral commands. For example, they can understand that what it means to be alive and how valuable life is, and they don't just go on their instincts, and instead they evaluate moral decisions, and they respect human rights. If that's what they're ready to do, I'll have to reevaluate my moral system then to include them into my moral system.
What
Yeah,
if they
that's
look like a human, but their
very unique.
their cognitive abilities are of an animal?
Does that mean that they behave like wild animals?
They behave like an animal.
Yeah, sure. I don't care then.
They don't have moral. So intellectually challenged human beings who cannot
Intellectually
take care of
challenged human beings
themselves.
are still human beings.
Well, you said that if they look like a human being, right, and they behave like an animal, then it's okay to. They
but
don't deserve moral consideration. Right?
You said that I know that they're not a human being. They just look like a human being. They're not a human being. That's what you said.
I didn't say that, no. But like, let's imagine
Okay, so
that
are they?
that you don't know whether they're a human being or not. You don't have DNA testing available
So
to
then
know
I'll
whether
assume.
they're
Then
a
I'll
human
assume
being or
that they're a
not.
human, and I'll put them in an asylum or something and try to treat them.
Brother, like I just like all of this is surrounding this idea that only humans deserve moral consideration, which you call it an axiom because it's just so conveniently you cannot explain it. It's
Do you
when
have
we
any
try
better
for you
axiom
to
that could, like,
when we yeah a sentient being is an individual because of their sentience, because they have a subjective experience of the world, because you cannot explain to me why a human being all of a sudden is valuable, and yet, and let me tell you this, because not
so
even
why shouldn't I
like a
then
human
include?
being who is brain dead no longer
Hmm.
deserves moral consideration according
So
to you.
why should I
They're still human
value
though.
your definition if I have even broader definition where I can include all kind of lives?
Why should you value my this isn't my definition. It's pretty
No,
simple. An
I said
individual
why
is
should I
somebody who is sentient.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why should I agree upon with your definition of when we should give somebody moral value when I could extend it a little bit more instead of sentience? Let's add every life, any being that is able to reproduce, it's able to it's able, or it's potential. It has potential for locomotion. It and it can survive and makes its own
For the
food.
same reason you value humans, because when you value humans because they look like you, because they're your own species, and because you can empathize with them, and you know that they're having an experience of the world, and you yourself wouldn't want to go through what they're going. So that's why you probably value humans, but
Yes, maybe. Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So the
That
whole point
cashes
about
into
it is that
sentience. That cashes into
that's
sentience.
exactly what sentience
So why
is,
shouldn't I
because
include every life instead of just sentient life? Like, why don't we include
because
algae and
because if they
the
don't
trees?
if they because if they don't have an experience of the world,
Now we
if they're
reached a
not
real conversation.
individuals who can feel, who not even feel, but if they're not individuals who have an experience of the world where they're
Okay, why do you care about
experiencing the world,
feelings?
I don't even know how to describe it. It's not feeling. Say it again.
Why do you care about sentience or feelings? Why don't you
I
care
don't care
about
about
life,
sentience. I
point
care
blank?
about the subjective experience of the world.
Okay, why
Because
do you care
if
about
you're the
subjective
subject
experience of world and not life being
because
alive?
subjective experience means you're the subject of your own universe. It means you're the subject of that experience. So
Uh-huh.
that means there is a subject there. If you don't have a subjective experience,
Why?
that means there's no subject. A
So why
subject
should I
essentially means
draw the
an
line there?
individual. Because
You're
that's
just repeating
the
yourself. My question is, why do you care about sentient beings or beings with subjective conscious experience
no, I can
instead of caring about all life, point blank?
It's
really
golden
John
rule.
because
Rawls,
there's no
right? It's
difference.
veiled ignorance. That's all it is.
It's
Yeah,
the
because
golden
there's no
rule.
difference
Yeah.
between there's no difference between a a non-sentient alive being and an object. There's no morally significant difference between them. None.
Just like you say that there is no distinction between an object and a tree because they don't have subjective conscious
No, I say
experience.
there's no morally significant difference. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry for paraphrasing you. Just like you believe that there is no morally significant difference between an object and a tree because they don't have subjective experience, I say that I don't think animals have any morally significant value because they are not humans.
No, those
Yes,
two things are not the
I've-
same. Those two things are not the same because
Yeah.
Chip
I know
can
they're not
actually
same, that's why I said these
explain
are two
why he
different
values
things.
sentience. He did explain why he values sentience. You
He
don't
didn't, he just
explain
said
why you value
he says
human.
they're like objects to them. He says the life is like
think
object to him.
that are
Trees are like
called
objects
lazy
to him.
deserve no moral value because they are called lazy.
Yeah.
You guys are so funny. I can't stop
I mean, I just
I
laughing.
don't
get
know
it,
what's funny
lazy.
about
I
that.
don't get it.
What is funny
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, you were
What's-
trying to
what's
make a
your-
joke
what-
and that landed
what-
right on your face.
No, I'm not trying to
even
make
know
a
your
joke. I'm
purpose?
mirroring your logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
sorry,
it's
you're
pretty
not.
clear, lazy, that you're not here to actually learn something. It's pretty clear
Yeah,
that
I'm
you're
not here to
here to
learn. I
try
didn't
to
say I'm
find
here to
some form
learn.
of a gotcha.
What is
You're
no
you're
problem
No,
you're,
I'm
you're
not.
here
with
to
me
find
saying
some form of a gotcha.
Look,
Yeah, you are, because
dude,
every single thing
I
that we
was
try to
sitting
explain to
muted.
you, every
Hold on.
single thing that we try to explain to you, I muted you. Every single thing that we try to explain to you, every single time I try to explain to you why sentience is important, every time we try to ask you why is that important, every single thing you just dodge it and try to justify your position instead of questioning your position. That's the difference. You're essentially exactly the same as any religious person out there who's trying to justify their religion, not questioning it when you're questioning them about their position. Okay? That's it. And I don't see why, like, you're essentially intellectually lazy. And if you want to be that person who's intellectually lazy, be that person. But you seem like a smart person, and to try to be
No.
intellectually lazy is kind of fucked up.
Look, I don't want to dunk on you guys. Really, I don't. I was just sitting here quietly, and VPM asked me some questions, so I was just answering them. I have no
Oh no,
interest
sweetie.
in debating vegans or
Lazy, come
something.
on. You were itching for a conversation. You were itching for it. That's why you entered here.
Not at
That's
all,
why
I
you
don't care.
asked me about
Yeah,
when I'm
No, I've been
if I'm going live and stuff. You were itching for it. So come on.
no.
I
because
just gave
put
you what
your
you wanted.
Live logo in your name. That's why I asked you.
Yeah, sure.
What is the
I
most
have no
Okay, can we
absurd
interest
thing
now
in
about a
agree that
lazy
I
to
can
concede
eat
to?
lazy because he's called lazy and not VPM or any not other name, and that's just my criteria.
Yeah, you're really funny. I admire your
I
Okay.
don't
intelligence.
understand why you are saying that that's funny when that's literally your position. What is
That's
funny
not.
about that?
So
You're right,
yeah,
you.
can we move on? I'm so sorry, Lazy.
I don't
I mean, I
understand.
think we should
Can we
list
move on?
what is the most insane thing the lazy is conceded to, because I think that he should know, be confronted with how
I don't
absurd his moral
understand.
system is.
Why am I funny now? I just really don't understand. That's just my, what you call it, axiom.
Persona.
Okay, can we move
No, it's
on?
my axiom that people who are, I no, because this is exactly the
This
point that
is
he's
1
making. We have
hour,
to mirror
50
exactly
minutes.
that
This has
logic.
gone
Where's
on.
the problem with that?
Guys, why don't you talk to other people? I never wanted to talk to you guys or debate
Where
you guys.
is
I'm
the
okay.
problem with me not valuing
on.
people who are called lazy?
Hey, you know what? I'll mute myself. You talk to other
I don't
nice people.
understand. Why is he not answering? I just don't get it. That's literally your position.
That's not. Good try,
It
though,
is.
to understand it.
No, it is. I just don't feel like you should deserve any
trying
kind
well,
of
but-
value.
You're trying well, but you don't have my position right now. You're talking about something else.
That's literally your position.
Okay,
I
can
don't
we
see
I
move
don't
what's
know
wrong
on?
what
with
my
it.
position is.
Can we move on?
You guys talk to
Yeah,
other people. I'll
that's
mute
your
myself.
Can we move on?
That's your position.
It's sort of like speculative space sapientism. It's kind of unusual, actually.
I think
lazy
it's
is an
just
unusual position.
rhetoric.
I don't fully understand it, but I think it's interesting.
I think it's just rhetoric.
I don't know, like he basically believes that if we met a species of aliens that was able to converse like humans do, then he would reevaluate his moral system and probably include them. So he's really looking at like sapience as being something worth valuing, but then he also has this, anthropocentric, kind of racist sounding. Well, it's speciesist, the whole, with the whole if they're born a human. He cares more if someone's born a human than if their mind, if they are able to suffer, or if they have the ability to feel grief. Like that is he doesn't care about that. He cares whether they're human or not. And that's creepy. Like, that's really creepy, but he doesn't see how creepy that is.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's kind of a challenge.
Okay, let's move on. Let's just move on to somebody else. Hamdi was really, really vibing with Lazy. You want to see if you can talk to us, or come on, Hamdi, turn on your mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Sorry, I was not.
what's your excuse for paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals? I'm just gonna assume that you're not vegan since you think Lazy was vibing.
Yeah. So, can you?
What? Can I repeat the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is your excuse for exploiting, slaughtering animals, or paying for exploitation and slaughter of animals for unnecessary things in the 21st century?
Well, it is not unnecessary. We are not killing animals for no reason. It
Okay.
is for food.
Yeah. So there is other food. Do you know what the definition of necessity is? Something you cannot live
Yeah.
without. Yeah. So do you think you can't live without meat, for instance?
Without me, but vegans don't even like.
Can you answer my
drink
question,
milk and-
please? Can you answer my question? Do you think you cannot live without meat?
Without artificial supplements, no.
Okay, so you can take artificial supplements and live without meat, correct?
But everyone cannot afford artificial supplements, right?
Can you
or not?
answer my question? If you can afford, if there are supplements magically appearing in your vicinity, and they, for instance, cost 25 cents per capsule, way less than meat, can you then live without meat? Can you answer my question, please? Yes or no?
No.
You cannot live without meat. What is it in meat that you cannot supplement and you will die without?
No, I'm not saying I'm gonna die if I don't eat meat.
So the definition of
yeah.
necessity is something that you cannot live without. So can you now admit that meat is not a necessity?
Okay, I agree.
Okay, awesome. Can you live without leather? Wearing somebody else's skin on your body?
Okay.
Is the answer yes? You can live without leather, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you live without dairy?
Certainly not.
Oh, what's in dairy that you cannot supplement for and you will die without?
Yeah, well, there are certain things which you cannot get from the vegan sources.
Yeah, like what?
First of all, tell me the source of vitamin. Let's say B12.
Okay, so you know supplements for B12 exist, yes? And they are literally the cheapest supplement on earth, so like 5 cents a pill. So
What about vitamin D?
okay, so vitamin D, usually you don't get that much from your food. It's usually being fortified into food. So it's a supplement as well. Or you can get it from the sun if you're like cringe and all naturalist and stuff. Or you can get it just from a supplement. So supplements exist. They are cheaper than the products. So you can get those nutrients from supplements, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you have another supplement, nutrient in dairy that doesn't exist either in a plant food or supplement. So you would have to admit that dairy is not necessary, correct?
Okay, can I ask you a question?
First answer mine, and then definitely.
Okay. Repeat your question, please.
Sure. So now that we know that you can get B12 and D either by being in the sun or taking a supplement or eating a fortified food, would you agree that dairy is not necessary? Or do you have another nutrient in mind that you can only get from dairy? Should I repeat my question again? Or
They've deafened themselves.
they've deafened themselves. Okay.
Oh no, they
That was
haven't.
great. I mean, that was the perfect line of questioning. I loved it.
No,
Appreciate
they
it.
haven't. They're just not answering.
Okay. So let's move on to somebody else. Anybody else wants to make...
Yes. Sorry for
Did you hear
I'm
my
back.
question this time? Did you understand my question this time?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes.
Defined, yeah. So the question was, now that you understand that you can get vitamin D and B12 either in a supplement, a fortified food, or from the sun, would you agree that dairy is not necessary, meaning you will not die without drinking dairy or eating dairy, correct?
Okay.
Okay. So what was your question?
Do you think that even cultivation wait a second.
Sorry, you totally cut out. Can you repeat the question, please? And come closer to the mic. Just come wherever your mic is, recognize where it is, and move it closer to your face.
Okay, now you can hear me or not?
Yeah.
Do you think that agriculture and cultivation also a part of killing animals? Play a major role in killing animals?
I cannot understand the question. Can somebody repeat the question because I didn't understand it? Did anybody else understand the question and can repeat it?
Hello.
I was confused, unfortunately.
Oh, can you please, still Hamdi, come closer to your mic,
Hello.
wherever it is, because you're cutting out. It's really hard to understand you.
You can hear me or not?
We can hear you, but when you ask this question, you keep cutting out and stuff, and we can't understand what you're saying. But we can hear you, just not understand you.
Okay. Do you think killing insect is morally correct or not?
Killing insects is
killing
morally correct or
insects.
not? If you can, if it's unnecessary, then you should avoid it. Yeah.
Do you think killing mosquitoes are morally correct or not?
Oh, absolutely. Kill the fuckers, all of them. They are violating the rights of human beings all over the world. You are not a blood cow. You do not have to suffer through this.
What the? Do you think killing mosquito is necessary?
So the herbivorous ones, the ones that pollinate, might be beneficial, but they're not necessary. Oh, are you asking, is killing them necessary? I try to avoid killing them as much as possible. That's why my house is like full of nets. But when one fucker gets in there, yes, absolutely. It's actually also a prevention of rights violations. If I kill the one mosquito that comes into my house before she reproduces. So it's actually like a kindness to kill the first one. And yes, I think it's necessary to kill mosquitoes, absolutely. I would be, if somebody said, let's kill all the blood-sucking types of mosquitoes right now, I would vote 100% yes.
It's interesting.
Yeah, you
I'm
know,
sort of
like...
interested myself. I never heard of it.
Sorry, Nick?
Oh, I'm kind of interested, like that. You're with the insects, that with the mosquitoes in particular, that you have that philosophy. I've never really thought about that strongly before, but he's wondering whether there's a non-lethal alternative that you could do instead.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
So I use all of them. I use the nets all over my house, and I have like a huge porch on my left side that is like 6 meters long, and still I'm net the entire thing. And I suffer for it because it creates a lot of heat. But my first line of defense is to keep them away from me. But those fuckers still come in through the front door once in a while, and I can't net that. It's just not possible. And then I use the repellent, but those fuckers no longer adhere to that shit, and they go through the repellent and they still bite me. And then when I can see that the repellent is not working and they actually got in despite the netting, then I resort to killing. Obviously, if there was a way to prevent killing mosquitoes, I would say 100% use all of them and only do it when necessary. 100%.
I see, but if that wasn't available, you'd choose the nuke option.
Yeah, because just globally, the amount of disease that mosquitoes spread is crazy. So I was vacationing in one place at some point, and there were semi-feral dogs. And the mosquitoes were crazy because the dogs were their sweet treat. So they would reproduce in crazy amounts because you can't really protect the dogs, the feral dogs, from mosquitoes. And the mosquitoes were literally swaths there, right? So when you have dogs, you also have other animals there because it's not a vegan country. And then you have also humans. It's also a huge biohazard to have this many mosquitoes. It's basically a parasite, a mosquito. So it sucks your blood in order to reproduce. It's not different from bed bugs. And yet everybody understands that bed bugs, we should kill those, nuke those fuckers. If I could push a button and get rid of bed bugs and the blood-sucking mosquitoes, I would push that button so fast that I would surprise myself.
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, do you think they're committing rights violations, or do you think they're not capable of understanding right from wrong? and that they should be treated with some mercy because they didn't get to choose to be born in the body of a mosquito?
I mean, again, if we can, we should, right? I say it again and again. If you can prevent, if you can avoid killing them, you should. It's just like in my personal experience, it's like literally everything that I've done, and still one of those motherfuckers gets in at least once a month. And in most parts of the world, literally nothing can be done about it, right? You can't net a person in India who lives in basically like a box. You can't net that shit. You can't net where I was vacationing, which is like kind of second world country, something like that. They're relatively developed, but still with lots of issues. And this, like, it would be, I think, a prevention of rights violations to like nuke mosquitoes. But if we can just like turn them into herbivores, I would obviously prefer that. Obviously.
Right. I mean, it doesn't matter the fact that they're very short-lived and they probably can't feel experiences like love the way birds and mammals can, or even potentially fish.
Oh,
so
if you can prove to me,
much to live for, so their lives don't have that much value as individuals.
Oh, if you prove to me that, yeah, if you prove to me that mosquitoes are non-sentient or they have like tiny amount of consciousness, I might just say like, well, then I don't even, there is no consideration there, right? My consideration is for sentient beings. And if mosquitoes are not sentient, yeah, fuck them all.
Right. It's interesting. Yeah, no, I think it's I like the nuanced view. I hope the Carnists understands what we're talking about.
Yeah, no problem. But
Thanks
let's move on to a
cool.
conversation with an actual non-vegan, if you don't mind, Nick.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I'm plenty nuanced, and I've been pressed on these subjects many times at this point. All right. Anybody wants to have a conversation? I see that Hamza has left, but somebody else. DK. Hello. DK.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
What are you guys talking about?
We took a bit of a esoteric stroll about whether it's good or bad to eradicate mosquitoes. But the main subject of this channel is to talk about veganism. Do you know what veganism is, or?
Oh, yeah, I do. But like, what do you think about like if it were veganism from the start? Would you think our humanity brains would develop?
I really don't care because we're in the 21st century and I advocate for veganism in the 21st century. Speculating about how our evolution would look like if we were plant-based entirely from the beginning is kind of a moot point because so many things has happened in those hundreds of thousands of years that contributed to us being how we are, that it's kind of like, should we isolate it from all the retroviruses that made us human? Should we isolate it from the when we learned cooking that also made us human? Should we isolate it from the discovery, the establishment of agriculture 10,000 years ago that definitely made us human and changed the evolution forever? It's all speculation. I don't give a shit. I'm here to talk to people who go to a supermarket and grab animal products mindlessly without thinking of the repercussion of those actions, right?
Okay, like, do you pick vegan foods mindlessly or?
Sorry, what's the question?
Vegetables mindfully or mindlessly?
Do I buy vegetables mindfully or mindlessly? I buy them mindfully. Do you have a point there, or?
I mean, cause like vegan people tend to think that vegetables and that kind of stuff like don't have consciousness compared to animals.
Oh yeah, they don't.
But
that's not just like vegans think that. That's just like an established scientific fact.
But like there's also a scientific fact that vegetables when they were in like soil and that kind of stuff, they have a sort of consciousness
Okay.
like trees
Can you
do.
provide evidence for the consciousness of a potato, please? And I'm going to be incredibly fair, right? If you provide me with evidence of potato consciousness, I'm going to stop buying potatoes. 100%.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a potato. It can be an avocado or an almond. It can be all kinds of vegetables that I would just really would like to know how you reached that conclusions. That what did you say? That plants have consciousness, or what did you say? How did you say it? Can you repeat what you said, though, please?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that whether it's a vegetable or an animal product, I believe it's the same category because they provide as a highly nutritious.
Oh, no. That's changing the subject. Can you please provide evidence for plant sentience or plant consciousness? Can you do that, please? Or retract your position, right? Like one of those two things has to happen before we move on to health outcomes.
I mean, for example, there's a plant that grabs flies and eat
Yeah, well,
them.
yeah, I have a fly trap for, let's say I don't really, but I have like a fly trap that is like mechanical, also does that. Does that mean my fly trap is sentient?
I mean, there are plants.
Sorry, can you
not
provide actual
like
evidence though? Like you just like saying stuff. Can you provide evidence that plants are sentient?
For
Or
example,
no, not examples. Please, evidence, not example. Evidence.
no. This is an evidence that you can imagine by it. So there are literally plants that eat flies for their nutrition.
Sure. Why does that
And-
mean that plants are sentient?
Have basic. It is evidence that they have a basic.
Yeah. What's the
neurons.
evidence for that? Can you please provide the evidence that because they eat flies, that means that they're sentient? Can you please provide that evidence from that?
It's from the textbook of plants.
Oh yeah, show
would
me
know
that
it
textbook, please. Can you provide, please, evidence? It's from the textbook of plants. No, the evidence that I'm asking for is not that the fly trap eats flies. It's that the fact that the fly trap eats flies means that that plant is sentient. And also, all of a sudden, the potatoes don't eat flies. Are potatoes sentient?
Potatoes get nutrition from sunlight and that kind of stuff, and they might have.
So, can you answer my question? Are potatoes sentient? Or
I'm not sure. Maybe no.
okay. So, what would be the evidence
watch
for
the show
some
Some
plants?
Horrors.
What would be the evidence for some plants being sentient and others no? Sorry, Nick. I'm gonna let you afterwards.
So this could be fact that still scientific progress has to be made.
Yeah. So
And
until
whether-
then, we should probably not speculate, right?
That's the thing. So why would veganism exist? Because there's still a lack of scientific
Yeah,
evidence
because
that
we actually have
that's why-
scientific evidence that plants can't be conscious and can't be sentient. So that's why, right? We do look into scientific papers.
Do you have evidence for that?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have evidence for that?
Oh, absolutely. There you go. I'm pasting it. So this paper was written by neuroscientists of consciousness, right? And it debunks all the claims, all the peripheral claims, I must say, that some weirdos made throughout time that they claim means that plants are sentient. So a fringe weirdo, once in a generation, gets on the plank and says plants could be sentient, right? They never make a strong claim that plants actually are sentient. They make us a very weak claim that plants could be sentient. And this paper debunks all of those weirdos. So it's a scientific consensus that most animals are sentient and plants are not. Right?
But are you sure?
Yes,
100% sure from
absolutely.
this one article?
Yes, 100% sure. I'm as sure as somebody can be scientifically that plants are not sentient. And I can give you more, provide more evidence for this, right? For instance, right, you have, I'm sharing my screen. Look at this, right? This is a plant, right? This plant reacts, right? Oh, give me a sec. Let me just push it.
That it has basic neurons.
Yeah. No, it doesn't have basic neurons. So it reacts, right? No matter how you touch it, it reacts the same way, right? Sometimes you don't even have to. There you go. You burn it, it reacts the same way as when you gently caress it. This basically proves that plants are not sentient because, you know, like when you caress a dog, they react differently from when you burn a dog, right? So that's what sentient beings do. They react differently to different stimuli. Plants cannot react differently to different stimuli.
I think there is a lack of evidence what could be sentient.
Excuse me, but I gave you a paper that not only defines sentience, but also proves in all the claims ever that plants could be sentient. It literally debunks all of them on a cellular level. It's a very complex paper. I would, frankly, if I were you, I would put it into ChatGPT and ask it to give you like a summary of this paper because it's very, very dense. It took me ages to go over it.
That, if every people were vegan, then our brain would be really highly developed.
Okay, what's the evidence for that?
I mean, it is sure that animal products provides
What's the evidence for that? Yeah, animal products provide nutrition, so do plant products. You think plant products don't provide nutrition, or do you think plant products don't provide nutrition, or what?
I mean, they do, but
Yeah.
solely eating.
So what's the evidence for that? What's the evidence for the claim that if we all went on a vegan diet, our brains would de-evolve, so become less evolutionarily progressed? Is that the claim?
Are you that dumb?
So what's the evidence for that claim, please?
I mean, you could just think about it and...
Yeah, as somebody who's been vegan for 10 years, I'm totally capable of thinking about it, and that disproves your claim. So now please provide evidence, because thinking about it, right, like flat earthers, they really think about, is the earth flat or round? And they reach the conclusion that the earth is flat, right? Do you think they're right?
Wait, can you say it again?
Yeah, so flat earthers, they think really hard. Is the earth flat or round? And they reach the conclusion that the earth is flat. Do you think just because they reached the conclusion that the earth is flat, that means that the earth is flat?
Exactly. Like I think flat.
What do you mean exactly? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you think the earth is flat just because because flat earthers think the earth is flat? Do you think and they thought about it really, really hard. There is a channel in this server that has flat earthers in them who thought about it really, really hard. It's actually kind of impressive. Do you think therefore the earth is flat, or?
I don't. Of course I don't.
So maybe you should provide evidence for a scientific claim. You made a scientific claim that if we all became vegan, we would devolve, our brain would shrink or something like that. Please provide evidence for that. Just thinking about it hard wouldn't provide us with the information we need, because this is a scientific claim, right? So we need science to provide evidence. Okay. So what's the evidence for? So what's the evidence for your claim that the brain is going to shrink if we went on a vegan diet?
Scientific evidence is that based on history of humanity, people use fire, and by this fire, they by this tool they cook things like meat and that kind of stuff. By meat, they absorbed it.
How is that a scientific evidence for us? If we went vegan, then our brain would shrink. How is that scientific evidence for that claim?
because our brain is consists of proteins, and
Uh-huh.
we need nutrition
Uh-huh.
like amino acids and other nutrition for like to function cognitively better.
Awesome.
So
So what
meat,
nutrition does a
eggs.
brain need that is in animal products that lacks in plant products?
Yeah.
What's the nutrition? Name it. Not yeah. Name the nutrition that is in animal products that lacks in plant products that would make up brain shrink.
I mean, like if you eat only a vegan food.
No, please
your,
please tell me what the nutrients are. I understand your claim. Now I want some more from it, right? You said that there are nutrients that our brain needs. Hold on, Min, hold on. You said that there are nutrients that our brain requires in order to function, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then you make the claim that we have to therefore eat animal products for that, right? So my question is, what nutrients are in animal products that don't exist in plant products that we need in order for our brain to continue functioning?
Amino acids.
You don't think there are amino acids in plants?
Hello.
They do, but like they're not like exactly amount as meat, and they have like a different qualities.
Sure. So if I provide evidence to you that there are the exact same amino acids in plants as there are in animal products, are you going to change your mind or?
No, because
no. So if I provide evidence debunking your claim, you're not going to change your mind.
It's like based on my intuition.
So please answer my question. Please answer my question. If I provide evidence that debunks your claim, will you change your mind? You said no, right?
I mean, okay, like, can you give me evidence then?
No, I first want to know that my efforts are going to be rewarded. I want to know that you are a genuine person, that you would actually change your mind when presented with evidence. If you're not going to change your mind, I'm just going to move on to somebody else and I'm going to call you a zealot. Right, so I really want to know that my efforts are going to be not in vain. So are you going to change your mind if I provide evidence that debunks your claim that there are amino acids in animal products that we need for our brain to function that don't exist in plant products?
Okay, I will try to listen.
Will you change your mind though? Because earlier you said no, so I'm worried.
Oh, no, that depends on the listener.
That depends on the listening. Okay, sure. So
No,
I'm sharing my screen. You can watch my screen, right? And this requires silence for a few minutes. Don't interject, okay? Is that...
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure. So there are 20 amino acids altogether. 9 of them are essential. Essential means that we need to get them from our food. And 11 of them that are non-essential. So this graph shows that all 9 essential amino acids, you see them, all those pretty colors, they exist in animal foods, obviously, right? That's your claim. But if you move down and see at legumes, beans, lentils, and peas, you also see all the 9 essential amino acids in them. The same goes for grains, the same goes for nuts, the same goes for vegetables, fruits, and mushrooms. All of those have all 9 essential amino acids. Have you changed your mind?
I mean, I agree, partially agree.
What do you disagree with? Sorry, go on.
Because you are not able to eat like 1 kilograms of legumes, beans, and lentils.
Sure. So, but you can eat the same amount of amino acids, the same amount of protein in grams from tofu as you would eat from beef, for instance. You can eat the same thing. In fact, there are plant products that are as high in essential amino acids as any other animal products.
But you need to eat a high amount of vegetables. Like
what's the evidence for that? I'm not talking about vegetables. I said there are plant products that are high in protein. So what's the evidence that you cannot get the same brain power from eating a plant-based diet that includes plant products that are high in protein. What's the evidence for that? Here's the thing. I'm gonna stop you for a second. It just seems that you're making shit up as you go along. Is that accurate in describing you? So please provide evidence. So you must have learned all of this from actual scientific evidence. So please provide it.
Okay, like I was just talking based on my experiences and what I've observed so far. So I'll try to find evidence.
So do you understand that that's flat Earth logic, right? Flat Earthers, they observe the Earth to be flat, and then they decide, oh, the Earth must be flat, right? So again, when you make scientific evidence, such as if we all went on a plant-based diet, our brains would literally fucking shrink. When you make such a claim, this cannot be just observed in the wildy. This must be provided evidence for. So I'm asking for those evidence. Your observation is probably incredibly biased and probably, even if considered as evidence, would not provide the evidence for your claim, right? Because do you have a human being that have had their brain MRI and 10 years, like, I don't know, like 5 years after going on a plant-based diet, have their brain MRI'd again and it shrunk? Do you have evidence for that?
I do. I'll post it right here if you want. Just did it.
I have evidence of 2 vegans whose brains just keep getting bigger on a vegan diet. It's really crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of insane. I know who the vegans you're talking about as well, Joe. So I'm supporting Joe's claim, so it must be true.
What evidence?
Oh, no, you should provide evidence first, sweetie. That's how it works. You made the claim first.
Yeah, I did in the comment section. Can you check it?
Oh, sure.
Have you actually read that study?
Well, yeah, maybe they read it earlier, right? Comparison of vegan, non-vegan diets on memory and sleep quality. How does that provide evidence that the brain is going to shrink?
My point, exactly.
It basically says that the cognitive function decreases when you eat only vegan foods.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, read it through it and you can understand it.
Sure, no problem.
The lowest performing group was which group, Min?
Sorry, what did you say, Tom?
Which group was the lowest performing group?
The lowest performance was omnivore.
Bingo! Guys even fucking read it.
What do you mean?
Just read the study. You can just scroll down to the results and read it for yourself.
If you're going to post evidence, read it before you post it. Comprehend what it says.
I mean, okay.
The sample size may have been insufficient to capture the effect of diet on sleep. So the conclusion is hilarious. But let's see the results. This is just, I first go through the abstract. That's how I do the summary, right? And then if there's still contention, then we can go into a method and so forth. So yeah, omnivore lows 105, and lastly, omnivore highs. So diet group with the best performance was pescatarian, followed by vegetarian and vegan. So one of the highest groups of function. The group with the lowest performance was omnivore high. So omnivorous group was the lowest performance. And I think this conversation is showing that as well. So we have like evidence in real life. I'm making a joke there. I apologize. I don't mean to be so callous. So, Min, do you understand now that you posted evidence against your claim? Do you understand it?
My bad.
Oh, my bad. Are you going to change your mind since you were the one who debunked your own claim? Are you going to change your mind now?
Can you just admit that you just like Googled this on the fly and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about?
No, I was trying to find.
He debunks his own claim and he's still.
Bro, you just Googled this like on the fly. You're just making shit up and then you like Googled stuff and then it debunked your own claim.
I didn't made it up. Like it's based on real knowledge. Like
Well, yeah, the real knowledge.
seriously.
The real knowledge that you just posted, right? It debunks your claim. So it would be incredibly brain dead of you to not change your mind now and say, oh, actually, vegan diets would grow our brain function. If I switch from an omnivorous to a vegan diet, it would actually grow my brain function. Bonus
This is
points.
like the flat earther.
Yeah.
This is like asking the flat earther for evidence of their claim, and they like post something in the chat, and it says the Earth is round. That's what you just fucking did.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, I would be embarrassed.
I mean, just
Holy
because
shit.
pescatarian is the highest,
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it doesn't mean the vegan isn't very high.
Sorry, what's? Can you repeat that, please?
Well, just because pescatarian is the highest doesn't mean that vegan and vegetarian isn't still very, very high in this study.
Yeah, it's
Like it would be unethical to be a pescatarian.
It's literally 0.6 points out of 118.2. It's 0.6 points difference between vegetarians, and then 2.2 points between vegans. And frankly, if vegans just took like a DHA supplement, it would be like pescatarians, like get the same health outcomes. We just need to take some
probably
DHA.
B12. We probably don't think we don't take B12 enough. Our B12 levels are low because a lot of vegans don't take it. But when they take it, they're the highest B12 levels.
True.
They just have to take their supplement.
100%. Isn't that the truth? Yeah, go on, Min.
Full nutrition. So
Have you changed your mind, Min? Have you changed your mind though?
no,
No, you still
evidence.
think that omnivorous diet would your brain would function better than on a vegan diet?
how would I change my mind just by one article?
Oh,
That's so
because
fucking
the
stupid.
article that you literally put in the chat, right? It debunks your claim.
It was my accident. I just didn't find the right source.
Well, if it was by accident, that's fine. But the science is still the science, right?
It's not always right though, because
Oh, what's wrong with this study? Please debunk this study. Could it be that
Well,
it
what?
just doesn't like adhere to your bias and therefore it's wrong? Could it that be?
it's not biased. I don't think veganism is entirely bad.
Okay, so please, no, I don't give a shit about all of that storytelling. I would like for you to debunk this study that you yourself put in the chat as evidence for your claim, and it actually debunks your claim. So you said not all studies are blah, blah, blah. So please debunk this study and say how it's wrong, and then we can move on for you providing evidence for your claim in a way that doesn't debunk it. How about that?
It's
That's
peer
the line of
reviewed.
questioning.
This is like a really high quality study.
Can you check this article?
No.
I'll provide
First, before we move on to our next article, you need to say why this article that you also pasted is wrong.
What the fuck's this got to do with it? You posted a completely irrelevant study as well.
Oh, something hilarious? Then I gotta see it. But, Min,
B12 serum levels.
Min, please debunk the study that is on the screen. That debunks your claim. Please
mean,
say
it's
why
all-
it's wrong.
That's like, yeah, maybe it's right on this scientific experiment, but it doesn't qualify for all of the diverse people.
It literally
Technically,
does because
this-
it had like more than one person in the study, right? It's not n equals
There
1.
should be still more variables.
Yeah. So it's 62 people. So there should be some statistical significance. So is your claim then that some people will have their that some people will have their mind taken away from them if they go on a plant-based diet and others won't? Is that your claim now?
No, like, does it say that of vegans who are really vegan, they had the highest score?
Oh, it's one of the
Highest
highest.
performance?
It's one of the highest. Yes, that's what. Sorry, did you paste a study that you didn't go through? Is that your way of showing off?
Yeah,
You didn't
no,
read
not
the
showing
study, right? You didn't read it?
I kind of read the title, but like
You read
I
the
didn't-
title. The title says comparison of vegan and non-vegan diets on memory and sleep quality. And from that you concluded that it's gonna adhere to your bias and say that vegan diets are worse. But in fact, it's all it says is a comparison, right? It doesn't give you in the conclusion in the name of the study. It gives it to you in results. And in results, it says that vegan diets, right, plant-based diets, are actually one of the highest performing when it comes to memory and sleep quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we are just left wondering, why the fuck do you still believe what you believe?
Cause it's like your position. Even though a lot of people argues on your like opinion that you think still like vegan is right. You still believe vegan is right?
No, I have scientific evidence for all of my claims.
But like if there's like a real argument against that, but you still believe vegan is right,
Oh,
right?
if you provide me with a real argument against veganism, I'm catching a plane ride to China tomorrow to get a dog steak. I'm gonna stop being vegan. I'm gonna go to China and I'm gonna eat a dog steak. Absolutely. If you prove to me that if you give me a banger argument against veganism, I'm gonna abandon veganism and go to China to eat a dog steak. Yeah?
What do you mean? Can you say again?
I think they meant me, yeah, I'm gonna say fuck if I want to, and if you don't like it, get the fuck out. So that's to 9mm. So what I'm saying is, if you give me a really good argument that debunks veganism, I'm gonna stop being a vegan, I'm gonna catch a flight to China, and I'm gonna eat a dog steak. So I'm gonna abandon veganism immediately.
Why dog though?
Oh, because I've never had dog and I want dog. Why not dog?
I think that's more crazy to say.
What? You think there is like a difference between eating a dog and eating a cow?
No. Like eating dog is morally more worse than being a vegan.
Oh, really? Why? Please give me an argument for veganism that makes it not okay to eat a dog.
Because like dog has been a companion for human species for a long time.
Oh, why does that
Basically-
matter? I mean, we kill each other as well, right? And we have been companions to
Because
each
it
other
matters
for a long
most.
time.
I mean, it matters because it matters for the society to,
Chinese people been eating dog for literal ages. Nobody in China gives a
so
shit about it.
that's
So what would be the problem for me to go to China and eat a dog? I'm not going to Netherlands
Yeah.
to eat a dog.
That's why it's banned in China to eat a dog. It's really banned.
Why?
It's morally not right.
Why?
What do you mean by why? I just said it.
Yeah, you said it's morally not right.
right.
I want to ask why it's morally not right, right? You need to provide evidence, like some kind of rationality of why it's immoral to eat a dog.
Based on historic, dog have been a companion. So eating dog
Wait, hold
is
on.
literally
Eating dog in China, in China, dogs have not been companions. They've been livestock all this time. So I don't see the problem. And I don't see why that would be morally wrong. That would be
That's
just like,
really-
I don't know, like socially wrong, maybe.
paradoxical to say from a vegan, because like vegan often have like high moral standards, right?
No.
And you just-
Listen. I'm
you
against killing all sentient beings for unnecessary food. That includes dogs. I'm just saying, if you prove to me that veganism is wrong, I would go eat all the dogs and all the cows, okay? I can promise you that. But first I was gonna go eat a dog because I've been really wanting a dog steak, right? So I'm saying, in the case that you debunk veganism, I'm gonna go eat a dog steak. And you're saying that's morally wrong. And I'm asking you why. Is it something about a dog that doesn't exist in a cow that makes it not okay to slaughter a dog for food?
A few moments later.
As I said, like dog has been a really strong friendship to humanity. So
Well,
it's-
not
I don't
in
think you're listening.
China.
Yeah, not in China.
So why would it be wrong for me to eat a dog steak in China?
I mean, because I mean, if you want, you can try. I mean, what we're trying to say.
Wait, but you said it's morally wrong, so I want to know why, right? I'm now looking for you to convince me to, when you debunk veganism, to not eat dogs, but to
Sure.
only eat cows, chickens, and pigs, right? So please convince me why it's not okay to eat a dog, a livestock in China, but it's okay to eat a cow, a livestock everywhere else.
I mean, I just said really many times, like.
Yeah,
dog
but no,
has been a
but
companion.
it doesn't apply to China, though, right? In China, they're
No, no, no,
livestock
because-
the way cows are livestock in everywhere else. In China, dogs are livestock. So you saying if there
Well,
have been
why-
companions doesn't apply in China. So
China
it must.
now has a law against eating dogs. What do you
Sorry.
think about that?
Yeah, that's why I'm going to China. In China, there is no law not to eat dogs. I can eat a dog there.
There's a law. You can search it.
No, it haven't been enacted yet. Yeah, so right now, right, if you prove to me that veganism is wrong, I'm gonna go to China and eat a dog steak. Why is that a problem?
Okay, so one of the biggest reasons people have a strong opposite opinion against a vegan is that
Jesus, brother, are you listening to
Oh.
me, Min? Are you listening? I'm asking you a very
Yeah.
specific question.
I'm answering to that right
Can
now.
you repeat my question, please, before you answer it?
Not that why vegan is wrong, and if I didn't,
That wasn't the question.
what do you mean? Sorry, I wasn't fully focusing
Oh.
because like
Maybe it's your
Clearly.
omnivorous diet. You're just not good at focusing.
Yeah, your brain's shrinking, bro.
Joe, can you take over for a little bit? I'm gonna go take coffee.
Yeah, so the question was, what is morally wrong about eating dogs in China?
I said it 100 times. Then why wouldn't you answer to that? I said that.
Did you understand? Did you understand why your answer didn't make sense? Because in China, they're not companion animals; they're livestock.
No, they're not. They dogs.
Dude,
like
they have a
companions
literal
too.
dog meat festival. There's a dog meat festival in China.
So, trying to say it doesn't represent fully everything what's happening on China. Like some part of China treat dogs as companions, and some other parts of China treat like dog
Yeah,
as
I'm
like
just
a
gonna go to the part. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the part of China that treats them as livestock and eat a dog. What's wrong with that?
Are you that stupid?
What?
I mean,
I'll eat a dog with you. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the part of China where they have the dog meat festival, and I'm gonna eat dog there. What's wrong with that?
We'll all go there. All the vegans in here will go there. It'll be great.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little vegan dog meat festival once you debunk veganism. We're gonna go ex-vegan, go to the dog meat festival, and chow down on some dog
Yes.
ribs.
Sometimes they set the animals on fire, and they have to, like, they actually use a blowtorch to kill them very slowly. I've seen it on video. So we'll do that too.
So
That sounds fun.
yeah, just tell us what's wrong with that.
okay. So you're asking me what's wrong with it, right? Then, if I say
Yes.
it's okay to eat dog, then you're gonna eat it?
No, we'll eat the dog after you debunk veganism. That was the conditional.
I know, but like,
Conditional is a big word, Joe.
Conditional just means if something happens, then we will do it. So if you debunk veganism, me, VPM, and Nick Lee will go to the Yulin Dog Festival and eat blood-torched dog meat.
Does that hurt your feelings, Min?
What?
Does that hurt your feelings, us saying this?
No, I don't. I'm just really hard to understand
Okay.
what
Let
you're
me
trying to say.
let me reveal what's happening here. Okay. Let me not torture you anymore. So if yeah,
I just think it's really crazy to think
why?
everything should be scientifically evidential. That's but sometimes we need like conversational evidence, not always a scientific evidence.
Oh, like for what?
My conversational evidence says the Earth is flat, so therefore the Earth is flat. I'm actually outside walking right now, and everything looks fucking flat. So
Yeah,
it's flat,
Denver's
bro.
pretty flat, isn't it? No idea.
Well, where I'm walking right now is pretty flat, but if you look west, it's mountainous. But yeah.
So, Min, let me reveal the spiel, right? So, vegans are opposed to exploiting and slaughtering sentient beings for unnecessary reasons. This is the only known, what do you call it? This is the only line in the sand when it comes to considering somebody morally, if they're sentient or not. That include human beings, dogs, cats, cows, pigs, chickens, fish, and some other aquatic animals as well. All the animals that we exploit and slaughter for unnecessary stuff. So we went through unnecessary part, right? You said, yeah, you could live without meat, you could live without dairy. And I think this conversation proven, including your evidence, that in fact your brain would be in better shape if you went vegan, right? So that makes the diet part unnecessary. The non-diet part you already agree is unnecessary, because you said leather would be not a problem. So what we're trying to do here is see where your line in the sand is. And your line in the sand when it comes to animals seems to be, we've just been liking dogs for a little while. We've just been enjoying their company for a little while. And that seems a little arbitrary to me, because plenty of people have been enjoying chickens for a while, and not in a dead, consumed form, but as individuals. Frankly, when you compare the individuals, chickens and dogs, they're kind of the same. They're kind of, they're not the same. They're very different animals. But when it comes to their individuality, they have personalities, they have preferences. And one of the biggest preferences in all sentient beings is wanting to live, wanting to not be killed, right? And that's why us as vegans say, well, then we shouldn't kill animals willy-nilly. We should grant them the same rights, the same negative rights at least, as human beings, because there is no morally relevant difference between a human being and a cow when it comes to killing somebody unnecessarily. Did you understand any of the words? I was probably fucking...
Do you really think that animals have the same individuality as humans?
No, they have the same
Yeah,
sentience. I said that chicken has the same individuality as a dog. And therefore, your line in the sand of whether it's okay to eat a dog steak or a chicken breast is weird. It just...
Yeah, Min, you might just want to visit like an animal sanctuary and visit the cows and goats and chickens and stuff, because they are just like dogs. They want pets, they want cuddles, they play with balls, they can fetch. Yeah, they're very similar to dog behavior. They're domesticated animals. They love human companionship.
Okay, so why do you care so much about the animals? How does it benefit
We
for
literally
the...
just explained it. We literally just explained it. Doesn't have to benefit the humans. It's just like something that is wrong to do to animals because they have the same traits that it would be wrong to do to humans. It would be wrong, surely. Let me ask you first. I shouldn't assume. We could be talking to a psychopath. Do you think it's wrong, for instance, to slaughter a human being for steak?
Oh, it's of course it's wrong. What do you mean?
Okay. Why?
Why are you always like asking why a lot? Because like
Because
there's a
I
lot of
want you to think about things. Because usually people don't really think about things like this. And I desperately need everybody to think before they speak. Desperately.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what happens when we don't think about these things? Fucking Holocaust. So we should think about morality, we should talk about morality. And when we find out that something is immoral, we should stop doing that thing.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that we should treat animals as individual beings, right?
Sure.
Main argument?
Hmm?
Okay. Let's say that's right. Let's say that's right. And we treat like animals as a, what should I say, individual things. And they will be likely to have more reproduction of their species because we don't have any authority against controlling its reproduction.
And yet we control
And
their reproduction so well to produce animal products.
yeah. So
Yeah,
if we
so
don't do
if we
that,
control the reproduction to
you're
produce
right.
animal products, why wouldn't we control the reproduction so they don't overpopulate the earth? You know what happens in animal production? They actually breed animals into existence, right? So if we stopped breeding them into existence, there wouldn't be overpopulation. That was your point, right? I stopped you in the middle, but that was your point, right? The animals would reproduce uncontrollably and take over the earth. Ah!
Not taking over the earth, but like it will definitely damage how no, like there will be news against it. Like, you
Sorry?
know, I mean, like if they reproduce a lot of their species, societal issues against it.
Sorry, I don't see the problem. We breed them now in order to make them into burgers and into dairy machines. If we just stopped breeding them, they wouldn't overpopulate the earth. They would, or whatever you said, right? There wouldn't be so many animals. There would be less animals because we stopped breeding them.
Okay. Yeah, you're trying to say if we stop breeding them, okay.
Yeah, why would a farmer breed them if Min is not gonna buy the steak? They don't breed for fun, they breed for money. And that should tell you everything that is fucked up with animal production. They literally breed sentient beings for money. You know, the way Chinese people breed dogs in order to kill them later. It's the same.
What do you think intuitively and against like eating animals? Do you really feel really sad about it?
No, I don't.
Emotionally, deep down?
No, my feelings are not involved here that much. I'm logical. This has nothing to do with my emotional state. I have a logical inference for, maybe not inference, maybe inference is the wrong word. I have a logical argument for why we shouldn't exploit and slaughter animals, and that's what I follow.
Alright, I will stop talking. I have no more to talk about right now. Thank you.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. I
It was
try.
really interesting, though. I really like your approaches. I'm going to try some of those.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
The flat Earth thing. I mean, that thing is a really great way of grounding everything.
Pretty much stole it from somebody else. Don't remember who.
Well, yeah, but then I think this other approach you're using of this last one you used, I think, is also really effective.
I literally don't remember what I just said. Maybe it's vegan deterioration. Sorry, I'm doing something else as well. Anybody else wants to have a conversation? Maybe not with me, because I need the rest.
Are there any Carnists in here, non-vegans? Are all vegans in here?
Nagami? How'd you pronounce that? Juampi? Wampy? I don't know. Enlighten us.
Also, maybe it's interesting to kind of review that conversation a little bit.
Sure.
Like, I think it's really interesting to say they want not to be killed, as opposed to like they want to be loved or to have the chance to express love, which is the way I usually do it. But saying they want not to be killed is also like very powerful, and I'm just curious, like, is that why you use that as being the thing that makes them so deserving of moral consideration?
Just all the traits of sentience. I just find those most relevant.
Yeah, no, I think the fear of death is a very powerful experience that certainly they share, for sure.
Yeah. Nick, have you read my argument for veganism? It's on the screen right now. You can read it. If you have like something to add or subtract, let me know.
Oh, yeah, I'll check it out. Do you mind if I read this out loud so other people can hear it?
If you want, don't have to. I think
All
most
right, cool.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, go on.
then we'll kind of go over it. The vegan position comes from understanding the reasons for why it's immoral to exploit and kill sentient beings when it's not necessary. When we consider why it's not okay to exploit and kill humans, it is reduced to the following. Humans are capable of experiencing the life around them and prefer to live. They can feel pain, fear, joy, and other emotions that make us not want to experience the negative feelings. These experiences are part of what it means to be sentient. Humans and animals are different in many ways, but we have some things in common, including sentience. This means that for the same reasons it's immoral to exploit and kill humans, in the context of lack of necessity, it is also immoral to exploit and kill animals in the same context. The exploitation and killing of animals is not necessary in the 21st century, where we are used to the products that result from exploitation and slaughter of animals. We have alternatives to almost all of these products, or alternatives to all or most of these products. This means that it's immoral to exploit and slaughter animals in the 21st century. I mean, yeah, I really like it. I'm a little concerned always about having utilitarian arguments without a deontic counterpart. What I mean to say is that
In what way is this utilitarian? I'm not a utilitarian. This is neither utilitarian nor deontic. It makes a comparison of sentience.
I guess it's a part of necessity. Like, because like I guess the question is like, do you think it would be moral to steal someone's flesh from them if it was a necessity to do it? And I think like you probably don't feel that way. So I almost wonder like, and I certainly don't, so I feel like I don't know if it's worthwhile to mention that even if it was necessary,
Well, I think
it would not be justified.
yeah, that's interesting, but I'm a threshold deontologist, so I think like if you are like the proverbial deserted island, if you're on a deserted island and there's literally no other way, I think you would go crazy and kill somebody and eat their flesh. And I think it would be morally not great. It would still be a tragedy because literally the entire situation is tragedy. But I do think it would be morally justified. Yeah, I'm threshold deontologist, so.
So as long as it's consistent. So like, for example, I worked for many years in primate laboratories, and of course, it was the monkeys that experienced all the use for greater good, and they were considered to be sacrificed for the greater good, but they didn't do it on humans. And
yeah.
So I assume I guess if your philosophy would say that if it's okay to do it to the animal, then it's okay to do it to the human. But our society hasn't crossed that threshold to say that it's ever okay to do it to a human that doesn't consent. Like ever. Like if they do it, it's like in black ops sites.
Yeah, by the way, like I work in a research lab. I'm not a researcher myself, so I don't want that credit. And a lot of people there, when we actually have this moral conversation, they bite the bullet that if it was beneficial, they would do those experiments on humans. Researchers are fucked up, man.
That's interesting.
I wouldn't.
They say that, but
I wouldn't. By the way, I'm obviously against research on animals. That's unjustified in my opinion, and I wouldn't say it's necessary.
Well, I mean, I'm sure like there are some diseases that it would be necessary to kill at least one animal to find a cure to at this point in our technology.
No. I'm sorry.
So?
We don't have the justification to exploit and slaughter, to exploit, yes, and slaughter a sentient being just to like find a cure for like some kind of a disease. That animal, that sentient being has the right to their bodily autonomy. I wouldn't say that's justified.
Okay, well, I agree with you 100%, but like that's why like when it comes to like if it was necessary to hunt and slaughter, animals or humans in a situation of duress, that wouldn't morally justify it. However, it would be understandable provided that you weren't doing it in a bigoted way. That means you were treating the humans the same way you're treating the non-humans.
Sure.
As long as you're consistent, then it can be justified in situations of duress. So I totally agree with you, though unfortunately we have this system of animal experimentation that is rampant throughout the world where they say this is justified because it saves more lives than it kills.
Well, I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. I say it's not justified. So like my position that it's not justified. And I would like say, yeah, I'll bite the bullet that, I don't know, like 1,000 years ago, if humans would literally die without hunting each other or other animals, yeah, I would say then it would be morally justifiable. All we want as sentient beings is to survive. It's kind of one of our biggest fucking traits, right?
But that's the question, like these experiments they do on animals, at least some of them probably do lead to cures that will save human lives, and humans want to survive, but that doesn't justify supporting the experiments.
No, we should, you know what, in my opinion, right, I can't prove this because this is a future thing. In my opinion, if tomorrow we worldwide decide to stop exploiting animals for animal testing, you know what's going to happen? They're going to find other ways to do it. The progress will continue. That's why it's unjustified. They're doing it because it's easy.
I mean, okay, I just don't. I feel like some of the neurological stuff, like it's really hard to do that with a simulator, and I'm a neuroscientist, and and I don't think it's morally justified to experiment on animals, but some of the things they might be looking at are like neural pathologies. It's very hard to we don't have simulated models for those at this point.
but it's still not justified because you shouldn't use someone else like that.
Yep.
If you're going to treat another sentient being, you have to treat them with fairness, and you can't treat them with bigotry. And that's the problem I have with the laboratories. It's not so much that they're doing these experiments against non-consenting victims, which of course is itself a horrific thing, but they do it in a bigoted way, which just amplifies how horrific it is.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. And I would actually like even I might bite the bullet on like even like a deserted island. I think I did in the past. I just, you know, I sometimes I use a rhetoric that is like, in my opinion, more important, right? And I can bite that bullet really easily and move on and say, well, we're not in that situation. But I might say that, yeah, it's unjustified to kill somebody, either animal or a human being, even when you're on a deserted island, because like us as like higher order thinkers should like take the responsibility for our actions, even in a dire positions. I just can't say that with a straight face because I have no idea what that feels like to like literally starving somewhere. I have no idea, so I can't say what I would do, right?
Well, it's not so much what you would do, it's that what you would hope that you would do.
Yeah.
It's really that.
Yeah.
And I think like that's probably enough. And as long as you're applying this, and you do, in a non-bigoted way, so that yes, in a situation of rest, I would kill a human, and kill a non-human. I would use them. I would maybe even experiment on them, you know, but it wouldn't ever be morally justified, and I wouldn't do it in a bigoted way. I would, if I became crazy enough that I was doing it, I wouldn't like selectively only do it on non-humans. I would be off the moral chart at that point. I'd be an immoral creature at that point.
Sorry,
We have
I
a
spaced out a
non-vegan
little
in
bit.
chat wanting to ask a question.
Yeah,
by the
sure.
way.
Let's go.
Sorry. Yeah. Very good.
Dan Serp, you want to ask?
Is
Answer?
that the question? I can just answer it. It's written down. I can read it out. So how to stop eating meat since I like it so much? Is there some methodological way or just have to go cold turkey? So Dancer, you're going to know yourself, right? If you reach the conclusion that it's immoral to exploit and slaughter animals for unnecessary products, then you'll find a way. And for each person, it's going to be a little different. It would break my heart if you actually like took steps to reduce it and then eliminate it. But I understand that this might be the most sustainable way for you. I would go cold turkey and find the vegan alternatives. So go for Beyond Meats and Impossible Meats and all of that stuff, right? Just to have the flavor and texture replication for a while. And then I would reduce that stuff as well, frankly. I did go cold turkey. And I lived to talk about it.
Yeah, me too. I went cold turkey, and I think that if you made the connection, then it will be the easiest thing in the world. It'll be like jumping into a nice pool. Like you don't want to jump in because you're afraid of it, but once you jump in, you're so glad you did it, and you feel great. You'll feel liberated. All of the things you're afraid of are gonna like melt away. You just make a solid commitment that I no longer want to be part of this atrocity, and you'll be freed. And then you'll be able to look at animals with peace, finally.
Yeah.
And look at them and know that you would not ever hurt them. That's a beautiful thing, to live a consistent moral life that doesn't exclude anyone. It's really unusual to have that opportunity, and you have it right now. It's not hard.
In Just to Trade Equalize, I was a huge meat lover. I was devoted to eating meat in a way that actually prevented me from going vegan for like 2 years. And then I just couldn't find another justification and had to go vegan.
I was 6 months delayed because of my carnivory. I was in such love with meat that I delayed it for 6 months, and I still regret it. I feel very guilty that I knew for 6 months, and I somehow found a way to rationalize eating them anyway. Yeah, but once I did it, that was it, and it was cold turkey. And it was really easy.
And by the way, the vegetarian foods should also be stopped, Dancer. They are also morally atrocious. So you should go vegan, not vegetarian, right? It's not just meat. So, except for trying to hurt my feelings in my chat, does anybody wants to have a conversation with me? A voice conversation? You're welcome to join. There is like a link, pinned link in the chat. You're welcome to join me there and have a conversation with me. Just like tag me here in the chat so that I can see, because I'm doing other stuff as well, right? Dude, when are you gonna not up and come have a conversation with me instead of trying to hurt my feelings? Because it's incredibly unsuccessful. My feelings are not hurt when somebody else slow cooks a corpse. That's just like a category error, what you're trying to do there. Come on, not up. Come have a conversation with me. Oh, sorry. No, I'm not gonna be on tomorrow. Tomorrow I actually go to work, but on Friday. Anybody else? Sorry. Anybody else? No, there is nobody else in here. What time is it? Tone should stay a little longer because I think shit died down.
It does a bit, doesn't it?
I see Joe is fighting Min in the chat. What's happening, Min?
Yeah, it's pretty brain dead.
All right.
Simple concepts are beyond them.
I think min is for minimum brain activity.
Yeah. The goal of saying, well, if you go vegan, you're gonna lose your faculties. The goal when you are that not incredibly smart yourself, not necessarily, right, is fantastic. It's a Dunning-Kruger. All right, I've stopped insulting Min. I'm just gonna go. See you later, guys.
See you later.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. If somebody were to join me for a conversation, I would stick around. But since nobody is biting today, I'm just gonna fuck off. Thank you, everybody, for coming. See you next time.